I wonder if Dave has a new computer.
Samurai.
Do you think Dave's got a new computer?
I don't know. Let's see. We'll have a big reveal here.
Well, we can hear him.
Snap.
I wonder if we're gonna be able
Oh,
to
that's
see
a
him.
start.
New computer hype. Chat's gonna be heartbroken.
I know. Let's get that cat walking up here. Here's that cat.
Get that cat going, and we're gonna say hello to Orsik, the game cat. He's first. Yes, you are. Sue Miles. Hello. Miles Dyer. Thanks for dropping in. I know it's late there, guys. Appreciate you. To hello, Joe Mojo, the death metal game hound. Everybody listen to Angel Crypt. Angel Crypt on YouTube, go. Mega TD Funny 2. Can't wait to see who won the game. And that's right, there is a giveaway somewhere tonight. Your long shadows, that lighting. Yes, they are good shadows, don't you say? Secrets of Whitticus, that one game cat. Napa Bear, Johnny Ripeout the Stray Cat, Hank, 19 minutes. It is time now, my friend. Wee Man 123. What is going on, guys? Lisa Gross, hello. Robert Sullivan, wow, what a day. Amazon order came with nothing in it. Nice. Surprise. Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry, Berber Cat, Ian Forster, Meow Meow the Game Cat, Wee, Scobie Man the Game Cat, Doug Foo, Ninja Cat, Hoo Ha, He, Billy Goat, Catfish, the self-editing Game Cat. I hope you've been playing Saints and Sinners, Delirium, Drew VR, the Game Cat, my dude, the Triangulator. What's up, man? Speaking of triangles, we got a lot of triangles to talk about
Billions
today.
of
Andrew
triangles
C,
to talk about.
billions and billions. Andrew C, Philip Games Dev, what's up, dude? Joe Grover, send Joe Grover over. Youngest Black Ice 4777, Crafty Crayons, me, Celia. Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, AJ. How are you, AJ? This is
Good,
PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every single Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring it to you live, because that's what live means. Bring it to you on time, every time. Not on time, every time. Sometimes it's late.
Close to on time. Very close to on.
Yeah, sometimes we just hit that stream button. We are not fucking ready. So.
Absolutely.
A little housekeeping, guys. Let's make sure everyone joins that Discord. Link in the description. That's where we hang out 24/7 and chit chat. It is free. There is no obligation. Just hang out, shoot the shit with me, Dave, AJ. Also, we're gonna run things a little bit differently this time around. I know Dave's got a new computer, so that's awesome. So that means things are actually going to work a little bit better this time around. But on top of that,
you guys want to see how ridiculous it looks?
Yes, we do.
It's very ridiculous looking. First, here's the box it came in. I'll give you a chance to look at this fucking thing. Skytech Gaming.
Nice.
It's fucking super.
Become self-aware.
Right.
PC Master Race, and then this is the bad boy right here.
Nice. Ooh, looks
white
nice.
and blue. It actually does kind of match the PS5 color scheme. I think it's going to look very similar to that.
I love it.
And of course, it's got the gamer window. Hold on, I'm going to show you the gamer window.
Gamer window.
The gamer window.
Yeah, I've got that too.
There's a window in the side of it, so you can see all the gamer shit inside. How cool it is!
So it's a clear side.
Brian's
my whole side is clear. Like it's just a big glass. Yeah, big glass wall.
I was gonna
So
say Brian's like mine's got a zip drive. But yours doesn't have a zip drive.
It works, guys. I'm never gonna freeze again.
Woo.
Which is weird as hell.
I'll bet a pizza
Very
on that.
fucking weird.
Because this
Although
is
I
without
still
Parole.
make
Shit
it
always
sometimes.
happens.
When I feel like leaving for a second, I'll still do this.
Excellent. And then you'll throw
But I just
AJ
won't
into
have
the
an
wrong
excuse.
window.
Yeah, I won't have an excuse.
My name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here, and the gentleman to my right that you've been watching for the last minute display his new computer is Dave from Dave Station VR. And I guess you've already done a pretty big introduction, so let's introduce AJ from The Underground. Does not want to advertise that he does PSVR games in the Underground. It's AJ from PSVR Underground.
You know, I'm not. You know, I don't want to start anything with any dabs. I'm just saying, Diet
Brian,
Pepsi
real
is not
quick,
good.
Am I not in the
Anything.
Illuminati anymore? Am I out?
You're out, man. They saw this shit and they were like, you're not good at being
I
secretive.
was like inviting everybody to join, so I guess that's probably they don't really like that too much.
I think that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, I just want to make sure we. So if anybody gives a tip, which we already got one, maybe we should just take care of that one right off the bat. I want to make sure, like last week's show was so insane that we kind of had to like discuss it after the show and be like, we couldn't even get the show started. So we're gonna do our best to kind of group tips together. We'll still let you interrupt the show, and we'll still let you talk about the things you want to talk about. But we're gonna try to cover tips after each segment.
Right.
So
So we've actually got 3 ready to go. So 2 from Whitticus. I'll start with the first one. Sorry, Whitticus. His first one, $2, and says, "Let's get it." Getting all ready to go. And then we got Joe Grover.
Let's get it, cats.
That's one for Joe Grover. $5. Dave took delivery of a bouncing baby stormtrooper. Awesome. Congrats. Thanks, Joe. And one last one. Whitticus again. Shouts from a car. Get a haircut, Dave. Yeah, I told you guys that story, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I hope it was a drive-by compliment and not a drive-by criticism.
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, you guys. I have a feeling this could be a long show, so maybe we should get the ball rolling.
We were talking about 3 hours, so strap in, everybody.
Strap
just
in.
To clarify what Bryan was saying about the tips, we're not going to interrupt ourselves anymore.
Right.
And I'm not going to get to interrupt them with the tree guy, which is actually one of the most fun things I get to do.
Yeah.
Cutting you guys off mid-sentence by hitting a guy and he says, "Fuck you." It's great. But I guess we're not doing that anymore.
I think the exception, though, is if your comment is relevant to what we're talking about, and it's right, and it pushes the conversation forward, like if it, then that's the exception, I think. So like I don't want anybody out there being like, "Hey man, I just gave $20 and this guy with a $2 donation got read first." That's the reason. Is like if yours wasn't relevant to the conversation, then we will hold off a second. Yeah. So, but if you want to add to the conversation, let us know.
Very relevant, as relevant as possible. And
the show will be
exactly the same it was before.
Yeah.
And we'll get derailed all the time. So let's get going.
All right, man. So AJ, what's our first news story of the week?
Our first news story, Bryan.
Our first news story is that I can't remember how to start the show. The way we begin the show every week with a little game of should we or shouldn't we?
Oh wait, no, never mind. We already did housekeeping.
When we put 60 seconds up on the clock up on the counter, and it's our turn to tell you, the little game cats, what you should or should not be playing and or watching, the things we've been playing and or watching. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Well then,
tell me when you're ready.
Well, on your mark, get Des. Go.
Okay, so I'm going to say if anybody out there has a PC, which I just got like a new you saw it, gamer-ass PC, or Xbox, Xbox Game Pass is really cool, and it works on PC. There's like 100 games you can get, and like some of these are really like big name. Like they have Streets of Rage the day it came out on there. I could have saved $25 on that. They've got all the Gears of War stuff, which I've never played, but I heard really good stuff about. Ori and the Blind Forest. There's like all these like really renowned games that are just free. So I've been loading this PC up like crazy. Like I've got Sunset Overdrive for free.
Another good
all
game.
This cool shit. And it's like $5 a month for the PC version. So I mean, I know we usually talk about VR stuff, but I never do anyways. So if you guys have, a PC that can play games, this shit is good. It's very free, very much free for everything. So I like it. I haven't played it.
So Xbox Game Pass is a should we?
Yes, Bryan. I know this isn't the place to say that, but
I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care what you're talking about, man. I'm only half listening to begin with, so whatever.
What I figured. Yeah, what I figured.
All right, AJ, are you up next?
I'm ready to go, man.
Ready to go. In that case, on your mark, get Des and go.
All right, so I recently revisited a game that was a launch game, guys, a launch game. And it goes by the name of Eve Valkyrie Warzone. And it is basically a space flying not arcade, but it's like a space shooter game.
Yeah.
And essentially there was some stuff that I realized I hadn't played in this. I didn't realize that there was like a wave shooter mode and a collectathon mode. Really, I think this game, I really enjoy the gameplay, the graphics, a lot of things about it. It's very immersive. But I do wish they would have focused more on being a single player, story-driven single player game. And I think this game would have been a lot bigger, probably a top 25 game, in fact. But overall, I feel like they have all these good ideas that were kind of spread apart in the game that would have been really good just all in one place. And because of that, however, still, I think when this game is on sale, I think it's a should we when it's on sale for dirt cheap. It's a pretty cool game.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like the first game I ever tried on PC VR. Or, sorry, people in the chat are talking about PC VR. PSVR. I demoed it at a Best Buy, and they put me in Eve first, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is good. This is like really good.
Yeah.
That just initial feeling of, taking off and being in the spaceship. It's very polished, very cool game.
Nice. Lots of love for Eve in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
so
it's really
nice.
good.
The downside is that when it came out
hard, but
initially,
it's good.
there wasn't much single player content. I think that's what the Warzone update took care of.
There's
added
still
more.
not much single player content.
There's not a whole lot, but there's enough if it's on sale for cheap, like 10, $15 even. Like there's enough there to have some fun with it and have a cool experience with it. It's
it's by far our best. It's by far our best space combat game.
I would probably say No Man's Sky, but yeah, if it's just focused on that, like when it comes to the combat itself and stuff,
yeah, it's like I mean I haven't played it recently, but the last I remember it was fucking stunning. It was like a beautiful looking game. How did it look? Pretty good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The levels have nice variety. There's like the collectible things are pretty cool. It's almost a little too realistic though, to where it's like, okay, like have fun a little bit, guys. Like you don't have to try and be as realistic as possible. And to that point, like listening to logs and stuff when you're collecting stuff, it's like I didn't really care about listening to their things, but some good multiplayer modes. But obviously, there's not really much of a player base. There is AI though that you can play against, so that's pretty cool. But
yeah, the one thing at this point about the multiplayer is that it scales it based on your skill.
Right.
So if you start out, you're most likely only going to be playing with bots for like a long time until you get pretty good. And you can tell really easily who's a bot and who's not because their names are like very obvious.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's kind of like a single player game now, unless you start out with somebody who just started at the same time as you and you guys drop in together. But it's very challenging too, like especially with the HOTAS. People are saying in the chat with the HOTAS.
Yeah, I was going to say,
feels awesome, but that's difficult, man.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually played Eve with the HOTAS yet. I've got my HOTAS over there,
very
but
good fun.
DualShock 4 is super precise and much easier. I'm sure. I'm just assuming. All right, let me get mine out of the way real quick here. My mark on Get Des and my Jeremy's around here somewhere. Go. I spent most of yesterday cleaning my apartment. And that's, I'll tell you right now, shouldn't we? Do not clean if you don't have to. Just fucking kick back and relax and enjoy your life instead of being responsible, being an adult. One of the things I did yesterday was put together a kitty condo. It's for a little cat tree for my incoming cat Tornado. Man, this thing is...
What's the ETA, man? What's the ETA on Tornado?
I think it's about 2 more weeks till Tornado can be here. If anyone's curious, you can go over to Kitten Academy, the YouTube channel. They've got like 250,000 subscribers. That's where I'm getting. Tornado from. Tornado's name over there is Blarney. So you can go and like watch their live streams. You can go watch their like daily kitten videos. And if you see Blarney, that's Tornado. Man, I'm super duper excited. I'm crazy. I'm cleaning this place like crazy, and I can't wait to like actually get it clean and organized. You can see I'm already moving bookshelves back here, so things don't get torn down. I'm basically creating a storage space where I push everything together. I mean, so yes, don't clean. That's a shouldn't we? Get a kitten? So far, should we? I don't have it yet, but so far it's going well. But
you're gonna love it, man. You're gonna have a great time.
I can't.
And wait. I think. I'm curious to see the cat tower. Is it within range of the webcam? Could you like turn the webcam and show us?
It's in the other room. I did post it on Discord though, so it's 6 feet tall. It was the biggest one I could find.
Wow. I'm only like 4 feet tall. I think 5 maybe.
It took a while to assemble, even though it's just like all Allen wrench stuff, because I just didn't want to screw it up and falling every direction step by step. And
oh, dude, I screwed it up like 4 times. I kept putting stuff on backwards, and I was like, I gotta start over again. Fuck.
There was a lot of stuff going on. The cool thing about it is that I mean, like if I was a kitten, I would absolutely want to hang out in this cat tree because there's like little baskets where it can just get like everything's super soft. There is like a hammock area, but in the basket's kind of like a hammock, and there's little tunnels and stuff, and like just all sorts of different places. There's a perch like way up on top, so she's gonna be able to sit and look out. Like I live on like the 10th floor of my building. You can like look out and just see the whole city. And so I mean, hopefully she likes it. If she doesn't like it, man, I got nothing.
I think she'll like it. I'm pretty sure.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, that's enough of that.
Catnip all over it.
Spray what that?
Spray catnip spray all over it.
So it should just be high all the time. I like it. Nice. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get to the news. I think it's time for some news. Don't you think, AJ? How many items are on the Roper report this week? AJ,
he's on mute, but
you're muted, man.
He's saying some number.
I do love the guys that kind of funny, but we gotta stop calling. I gotta remember. I wanted to mute myself when I take a drink of water, and I gotta remember to unmute myself. I've been doing that lately. So bad.
How many items?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 items on the list today as well.
Baker's dozen.
Yeah.
I hate you guys so much.
Listen. I just want
We-
everyone to be clear. It's like we know we're ripping off Kind of Funny, and we are.
Yeah.
I've always been a huge fan of them, so I do not hide the fact that I'm a Kind of Funny best friend. That's where the whole Game Cat community came from. Just like starting off and seeing how positive theirs was, and I just really wanted to have something like that over here as well. And you guys, I think you blew it out of the water. You guys are better than the best friend community. Don't tell them that I said that.
So I will say, in addition to the news today and stuff, we also have a bunch of games on sale that we're going to end the show with going through this epic list of sales. So first thing on the list, guys, May 12th, which was 2 days ago, PlayStation and Herman Hulst announced that with the launch of the PlayStation 5, they're going to be rebranding and adding PlayStation Studios, which is a new name for, I guess, the Sony Worldwide Studios. And yeah, they announced that this is going to be launching alongside PS5, and gonna have a new label. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I don't want to speak poorly about something that is supposed to be so positive, but like it really just reminds me of like the Marvel introduction and that kind of stuff. It's like it just looks so, I don't know, it just reminds me so much of the Marvel Studios introduction. It's fine. It's cool. I think this is Sony's one of many steps they've taken to kind of separate the PlayStation brand from the Sony brand. You hear the execs talk about PlayStation all the time as if it's like its own thing. They're like, oh, the guys over at PlayStation, right? They don't say the guys over at Sony. They actually call it PlayStation, and this is just another step towards really separating themselves. It's cool.
Yeah. So I'm actually like looking forward to this. I think it'll be cool to have every Sony first party title that has that logo on it. So no matter where that game goes, it will always start with that PlayStation Studios logo, and it's a lot easier to remember for me than the Sony Worldwide Studios.
For sure.
Which I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. PlayStation Studios is so much easier to say. Right.
They usually start off and it says Sony Interactive Entertainment. Like SIE was their new thing to kind of like put everything together, and now they're changing that yet again. It's obvious SIE is still a thing, but this is just kind of their brand for that.
Right. But also we got a lot of PlayStation related stuff. We're going to talk about this Epic Games actually unveiled a new Unreal Engine 5, you guys. And of course it wasn't anything VR related, but we're going to tell you how this affects VR in the long run. What did you guys think of that tech demo? Chat, what did you guys think of it?
Impressive as hell. Oh my God. The detail on those environments, man. I mean, the game looks like your standard Tomb Raider type game, but fuck, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? And if we get a fifth of this to filter down to PSVR, I'm gonna be in fucking heaven, man. Like if it looks anywhere in the ballpark of like the level of improvement from PS4 to this is what we get on PS4 to PS5 for VR. Just that same level of improvement, not to the level. It doesn't not going to look this good, obviously. But,
right.
Yeah. We're going to be loving it. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about this. I think this machine can really push some teraflops or whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as it goes for developers, this really said, hey, you know what? Like, at least for the first year or two with PlayStation 5. I mean, I don't want to be like hyperbolic, but it seems like, as far as I'm concerned, most studios aren't going to be able to max out the capabilities of this engine anytime soon. So they're basically dealing with like unlimited power, and I think we're gonna have like killer frame rates. We're gonna have killer resolutions, and everything looks fucking beautiful. And I think what the best thing how this relates to PlayStation VR is we've seen so many studios make cartoony looking games, like cell shaded games, just to kind of play it safe and make sure that the games can run on PlayStation VR without much of a hassle. And I think that we are in for some practically photorealistic looking environments on PlayStation VR. Because even if you cut the power of this in half, which to render two separate images at once, I think you're there, right?
Even the raw power of the PlayStation 5 alone is over twice as much as the PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't know what I just said. I think I said PlayStation 5, right? The raw power of the PS5 is over double than the PS4 Pro, which is like 4.6 teraflops or something like that. Now you factor in all these different tools and stuff, different designs and the architecture, and there's a lot of things that they can do and free up for developers. I suspect we're going to have really, really good looking VR games, but then there's also going to be stuff like when they talk about, by the way, this tech demo is called Lumen in the Land of Nanite. For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, I highly recommend going and check it out.
That's a weird fucking name.
Yeah, a lot of people want it to be a game, though.
I don't think that they would release it with that title, probably.
Well, they were saying the different elements, like that incorporates different elements of the
because
engine.
Lumen is the system.
Lumen and Nanite,
is
right.
the system.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's why it's so awkwardly titled, I'm sure.
Right.
Do we want to do a few tips? Because we got some big ones here.
In a second.
Okay, we'll
But yeah, so yeah, Lumen is a global illumination system that will enable photorealistic lighting in games, while Nanite is a virtual geometry system that allows artists to import and render 3D models and environments composed of billions of polygons. This comes from NME.com.
It's billions with a hard B. Billion.
Yeah. And they mentioned like the triangles and how they are like basically a pixel. And then they showed off like one thing. They were like, this has like, what was it, like 16 million pixels, and then there's like, here's 500 of them.
Yeah. The cool thing is that I think you kind of glossed over this a little bit. They're saying billions of triangles basically functioning as the polygons to render the environment, but each one is so small. This engine is so good at rendering all of those triangles at once that it's able to that each triangle that it's rendering is as small as a pixel. And I thought that was fucking ridiculous, right? Because no matter how far we've gotten, like there's always been, I don't know, there's always been limitations, and it just feels like right now there are no limitations. And seeing this is running on a PlayStation 5, I don't know if we made that clear.
Dude, I wish that Mark Cerny presentation he'd had this footage to show behind him, because if 100%. He was saying the same dry, nerdy, boring shit with this playing in the background, people would have paid attention. They would have been like, "Oh, I see what you're saying." This was a PowerPoint. I can fucking see the thing. Right. You know?
This was actually supposed to be a playable tech demo at GDC. Okay. So it is not. It's not just a cutscene thing. Now this is Unreal Engine 5, the first glimpse. It's going to take a while before the flat screen games look as good as that does. But Unreal Engine 5 will be available. They're going to start having like an early thing for it next year, and then by the end of next year, it's going to be fully released. Is the plan? So I can't wait to see developers get their hands on this and start making games with this engine.
One really important detail about this too, that doesn't have to do with the engine itself, but with the royalty scheme. It's going to open things up for a lot of indie devs to create stuff. So the way they're doing it now is, it used to be they took like 5% of your revenue up to a certain point, and then all this kind of stuff. At this point, if you release a game on Unity 5 and you sell less than 1 million copies, you owe them nothing for using the engine. It was free to create that game.
For the first million, right?
Yeah, for the first million. So a lot of smaller VR devs, I think, are going to take advantage of this. And it takes a lot to sell 1 million copies of a VR game. So that opens up the market for a lot of people who maybe wouldn't have been able to budget, their way into that if they had to pay for the engine.
Right.
So really cool. But we have some tips piling up. I do want to clear them out before we get too far here.
Absolutely.
So first one, we got Whitticus, that one game cat. Again, 2 buckaroos, and he says, last one, any Alvo news? I want in on a beta, damn it. There is an Alvo beta on PC coming soon. Is that correct?
No, they're actually submitting Alvo to QA in 2 days.
Okay, but they did have a PC beta. 5. They had PC betas a few times. People have played the game.
They've had some play testing going on PC.
They've had some play testing,
No, there's no official beta. They are focusing on PlayStation 4, and that'll be where we see the game first. Obviously, with aim support, I know that keeps coming up. People are like, is this going to have aim support? It's definitely going to have aim support. So Hakuna Matata.
Then we got Phil Saunders with £2. He says, always good to... Shut up. He says, always good to see you boys.
You too,
always
Bill.
good to see you too.
What's
Got
up, Phil?
A few more here. Big one from there's a bunch. Okay, Joe Grover again. Deep Pockets Joe is what we call him over here. Says getting this shit over early. Jeez, he's going on for. Okay, he's done. This is weird when I do them all at once because I feel like it's a little too much Tree Guy in one condensed. I think I might just do it at the beginning and the end of the tips, and then we'll do that.
All
Okay,
right.
Joe Gerber says, getting this shit over early. Wilhelm scream? You familiar? It's a screaming sound effect used in movies as a joke for years. Now, down the rabbit hole. Push a bunny over the edge, and it Wilhelm screams as it falls. Awesome. Little
That's awesome.
tidbit there from Joe Grover.
I do love that scream.
Then we got Nihilus Rai in the game Feline with $5. He says, speaking of Eve Valkyrie, who's super excited about Taurus VR? VR still needs a great single-player space shooter. That's true.
Taurus looks okay.
Yeah.
Taurus kind of looks kind of low budget in my book.
I don't know much about it, yeah.
Right now, they're more focused on the PC side, but they are going to be working with Perp Games and then releasing. I think they were actually going to try to have early access. If it's not already early access, I thought I heard something about early access by the summer, and then later coming to PlayStation VR. But it does look like a Galaga-inspired arcade, definitely an arcade shooter-inspired game.
Shooter, okay. Your Long Shadows with the 50 North Korean kroners. North Korean Sekiros. He says the Illuminati is finally stepping up and sharing their triangle insights to better gaming for us all. Did you guys make a case for us? Respect. Yeah, I've been working on this with the Illuminati for a while now. And I think we did a pretty good job, but apparently I've been kicked out. So what are you going to do? They don't respect my contributions.
They used you up and then spit you out.
Spit me out. Fucking Illuminati.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let's see here.
That's all the tips for now. Don't tip for a while, guys. Wait. If you see one person tip, just group it around that tip.
Don't tip for a while. Like, give us money, but hold on.
No, but I'll tell you one thing I love about this whole engine and stuff. I mean, this isn't not necessarily the engine, but this was great to see the first glimpse of gameplay on the PS5. And we already know it's going to be a lot more powerful. They did show off like some of the sound design. I love how they talked about they're trying to make flat screen games more immersive. Who do you think is going to benefit the most from hardware being able to create more immersive experiences? That's us, man. Like that has got PSVR written all over it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and that 3D audio shit too. I mean, this is not part of Unreal 5, but
right,
that'll be a big thing for VR. I think the directional audio, just like adding to the embodiment of you're in this like a cave or wherever the fuck you are. I feel like it'll really add a lot.
Somebody commented on one of the videos recently saying why. You'd get a lot more subscribers. You do a lot better if you covered like all VR stuff. Why do you only cover PlayStation VR? And I basically said, that I really think that Sony has the best VR plan moving forward, even though they haven't unveiled their plans. Because where Oculus is like, giving us new generations of hardware every year. It's like the Oculus was out for, hey, everyone just got their Oculus Quest, and now suddenly they're talking about Quest 2. It's like, but PlayStation is doing it the console way, where we get one thing, and then it's good for like fucking 7 years or something.
7 to 10 years.
And so moving forward, the PlayStation 5 is going to push the hardware forward this much. This is what consoles are really good for. Whenever we get a new console, it's like beyond the high-end PC on day one, right? And it's cheaper than beyond high-end PCs on day one. Here and there, that's been true. It hasn't always been true. This looks like it's going to be true. This is going to be the cheapest way to play the best-looking games. And then when you add, what Unreal Engine is able to do, that it's kind of unbelievable. And so this is sort of like the best way to get a really advanced, like VR ready PC without actually having to spend all the money. That's awesome for PlayStation VR gamers, and having be able to use your current headset on the PlayStation 5 and being able to take advantage of all this advanced technology is going to be unbelievable. And we haven't even talked about the solid state drive. Like that is, when it comes down to
in the past. I think we're kind of retreading territory we've gone through when we first talked about the reveal.
What was it that Tim Sweeney said? So Tim Sweeney from Epic Games, he literally said that this SSD or this whole hardware or something is better.
It's far beyond anything on PC.
Current
That's
PC.
what he said,
Obviously,
far
that
beyond.
it won't take long for that to change. But
Well, I
But
think
we'll
it's the
see.
architecture too. It's not even just like the stats or
Right.
anything. It's the way it's set up. Is the flow of data through your shit or whatever it is a lot more streamlined. It seems like, and there's less of a bottleneck.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So, I mean,
so much
so it's-
freedom, easy to develop for.
It's not teraflops versus teraflops anymore. Like there's
Yeah.
so much more at work here, and
you know it's going to be a teraflop.
oh
The
no.
Xbox
Oh no.
Series X, S1, 2, 3X.
You know, it has been interesting to hear these developers talk about like you've been hearing rumblings, nothing official obviously, but you've been hearing these rumbles about like, oh, PlayStation's really got something special going on here. They've got some secret sauce, for lack of a better word. And it's cool to finally get a glimpse of this. And I just, guys, I want to see, can you imagine how good the first party game from PlayStation Studios is going to look for a PSVR game? Can you imagine how good that first party title is going to look in VR?
Yeah.
Man.
And all this power is going to make it way, way, way easier for Lloyd in the basement to just flip that switch, right? It's always been such a hassle for PlayStation 4 developers to get their game running on PlayStation VR. There's always been huge sacrifices, whether it be draw distance, whether it be mostly resolution. I think we talk about blurriness in PSVR games more than any other downgrade, and it's just not going to be the case anymore. I think PlayStation VR on PlayStation 5 these games are going to look as good as PlayStation 4 games. Can you imagine even just Resident Evil 7, which is, practically photorealistic with a little bit of an art design slant thrown in there. Can you imagine just having it look as good as the flat screen but being in VR? That resolution, I can't imagine. Like we are,
it's probably going to look better, man, if that Resident Evil 8 happens.
Absolutely. But I'm saying it's like all these developers need to get in on on the cheap cash grab. It's like bring Saints and Sinners over with a super fast load screen or no load screens. And expand the environment size. So many different things they can do now, and we're just not going to see any of those big compromises anymore. It's going to be radically different. So I know we've said before, it's Lloyd flipping that switch in the basement isn't a real thing, right? Because it's not that easy. Just be like, oh, now your game's in VR. But when you have so much more power to work with, it makes everything a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So in other PlayStation news, the PS4 guys has reached 110 million sold. That still is in fourth place, right behind. I forgot, but 110 million sold. Last time we checked in, it was like 103, 104 million. So that's great to see. There's also 40 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, which is amazing. And yeah, not gonna touch the PlayStation 2, but obviously with the state of play showing today and stuff, they're still going to be selling PlayStation 4s for a little while, especially when it gets like that price drop. And people aren't going to want to buy not everybody's going to want to buy a PlayStation 5 right away. But they have literally said that they're going to have a good plan in place to have this transition to be as seamless as possible. So there have been rumors as well about like an upgrade system, similar to what was mentioned with like Xbox and Cyberpunk 2077. PlayStation is now, this isn't confirmed or anything, just a rumor that there is possibly going to be a similar upgrade system for that.
What do you mean when you say upgrade system?
Like you buy the game on PS4 and then you can have a free upgrade on PS5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cross buy. Yeah.
Right.
AJ, you said that it's not going to hit the PlayStation 2 numbers, PlayStation 4, eventual generation sales.
Maybe.
Here's what a lot of people do, and I think this is a segment of the population that a lot of people forget about, is that they are not on board day one with PlayStation 5. They are not on board 6 years in on PlayStation 5. They wait until they're happy playing games 10 years later, right?
Dude, honestly, I didn't get a PS4 for the longest time, and then PSVR I got day one, but like the PS4 I did not run into a store to buy the second it came out. I didn't really care that much. I was playing shit on PS3.
Yeah. No, I mean, for real,
it came out on both. So
when PlayStation 4 hits that magical price point of $200 eventually, which it's insane that a PlayStation 4 Pro has not dropped in price. I mean, there's been bundles and stuff, but there's been no official price drop since it launched. It's still $400, and we're coming up on a new generation where PlayStation 5 is gonna be probably $500, and so two generations are gonna be side by side, $100 apart. PlayStation 4 sales are gonna take off in like a whole new way when PS4 is 200, PS4 Pro is 250 or 300. I mean, we're gonna see a whole new generation of gamers get by that thing, and I think it's very possible we could see PS2 sales numbers eventually up for that.
Yeah, it's like 155 million, so it'll be awesome, man.
Yeah.
But really, really great stuff going on in PlayStation Land. We obviously we should be expecting, within the next 2-3 months, we'll get the official reveal of that thing, and I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait to see what VR games look like on this. Bryan, we without naming names, we did have like a dev make a comment about
His name was AJ.
what they thought of.
You're now developing games for PSVR. We didn't tell anybody, but now it's official. No.
I am studying programming, so it could happen one day. Make my snowboarding game.
Your snowboarding game better have jetpacks, or I'm not fucking playing it.
Can we say what the person said or whatever?
We can say what he said. We will not say who it was.
No, but we had a developer that believes that with the power of the PlayStation, with Unreal Engine 5, that he believes that they can make what do you say, film quality?
Film quality
VR,
film quality VR, and he basically said this is Sony's ticket. Like this is them taking over VR. And I, it's cool. You have if you're a company like Sony and you work with the same kind of console, if you work by the console plan that's always worked for them, and you adapt that to VR, that means every single generational leap is going to be gigantic. And so yeah, I think he basically said Sony's going to take over the VR market, and I don't think he's wrong.
Yeah. They could even do a stopgap and release some new controllers. I think that would be awesome. Like, because I got no problem with the headset. The headset's comfortable as hell. Mm-hmm. People's biggest problems are just thumbsticks and tracking. Even though I'm used to it now, but oh my god, yeah, they're talking about like driving games and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to see driving games.
Dude, the number of people I've seen so many people, hundreds and hundreds of comments like weekly, saying, he's playing Saints and Sinners and he's running around. How is he running around in VR? I'm like,
right. Nobody knows.
Right. It's like, we get it, man. We get it. Like, if you're not super accustomed to PlayStation VR, you don't have move controllers, or you're kind of new to all this. It's like, you're like, you look at those things and you're like, how there's no way to run around. There's no analog sticks. But yeah, people like you and me, and everybody that's been on, playing PlayStation VR for a while, we're all very, very accustomed to those control schemes. But we've also said, to get new gamers in and to make things as comfortable as possible and as the lowest barrier to entry, we need those move controllers with analog sticks, big time.
Yeah, they got something they're working on. We've been seeing the patents and whatever they're tinkering with, so it would be great, man. It would go a long way, especially with the PS5. Yeah, they're going to do something big. I got a feeling they're going to do something pretty big. Right. They did make a comment as well saying that somebody had questioned, like, is Xbox, winning this whole marketing strategy thing? And they basically responded and just said, wait for the sales. So I think they're pretty confident. Which I mean, is right in line with everything I've been saying about Sony's messaging leading up to PlayStation 5. It's horrible. Like, this is not, it's such an egotistical thing to say, oh, wait for the sales. No, don't say wait for the sales, man. Just be like, don't worry, we have a strategy in place and we just haven't revealed it yet. Like, wait for the sales. That's like being like, we won the console war and it hasn't even begun yet, right? So, I don't see anything invalid with what he said. Like, he says, he's saying wait for the sales to judge. He's not like, wait for the sales, kid, and drives off in his Camaro.
That's kind of what it is. That's actually sort of what it is.
No, it was wait for the sales, and then you can determine, that's all I'm saying.
Right.
Explosion in the background as he drives off.
No, it's like when Unreal has done the best job of demonstrating the power of the PlayStation 5 so far, and it hasn't been Sony, then I'm like, well, right. It's like, let's wait and see what Sony has up their sleeve. But don't be like, before you even demonstrate that shit, don't be like, it's gonna fucking sell like crazy, man. Don't you worry about it. It's like that. It just sounds wrong. It's like, show off your console, show off your launch lineup, and then say, this is why it's gonna outsell Xbox. Not we're just gonna win, man. That's it. Their messaging's horrible right now.
I really like
the color.
This comment from Lasercat, the Lasercat Game Cat. He says PlayStation is like the quiet dude with the man bun that steals your girl. It's
My
incredible.
God.
Wait.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm not going to comment on that.
He can try. Yeah. He can try. All right. So we've got some games to talk about, guys, because we do talk about games as well. But hell yeah, with the PS5, cannot wait to see what they do next. Sure they'll drop it out of somewhere, just randomly, but they're gonna try and push the rest of the PS4 that they can before it's time to really show off the PS5. But I like what they're doing. I'm totally down with it. Iron Man VR, guys, finally got the redone release date. PlayStation via Twitter said SIE update. We are pleased to announce that Marvel's Iron Man VR will release on July 3rd. Please look forward. Yes. Please look forward to more news in the coming weeks.
Here's what I've got to say about that. It's becoming increasingly obvious that no one listens to us. Because when I put out the breaking news report about the new release date and saying after numerous delays and after the blah, 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 was it July 3rd? I got to put this stuff in the...
Yes.
Okay. People are like, I didn't even realize it was delayed. I thought it was coming out 2 days after Saints and Sinners. I was like, what? Why? No one fucking listens to a word I say. Why do I even bother? That's all I took away from this.
Video.
It's all for the money, though, right? It's all for the money.
So I'm really stoked about this game. This being another, this has been touted as like the big AAA first party title, and it's got that Sony money, that Marvel money. The guys said that they were inspired by Resident Evil 7 games like that, and they promised that it's going to be a full game, not just some experience alone or glorified tech demo.
It better be for $40, man.
Yeah, it better be fucking Walking Dead good.
Yeah. And yeah, that is, we talked about standards. And yeah, Walking Dead, it did raise the bar when all things are said and done. That's what we want at a $40 price, which is actually a really good deal if you think about it.
Also, for that game? Hell yeah.
It's not officially a jetpack, but we do, we get to fly. So I'm happy already.
Yeah.
Although,
you guys think it's going to turn out well?
Oh, I can only imagine it'll be fun to play and polished. And, I don't know if it's going to be as long as people want it to be. Developers have a tendency to say, oh, our game's 8 hours, and then you play it, and it's like 5 hours. And just how would someone take 8 hours to finish what are you talking about? So we'll see. But regardless of quantity, I think the quality will be good.
I think the quality is going to be great. I know Dave and I have gone back and forth on this kind of quite a bit, saying, I want it to be more than just okay, now it's time for mission 2, head off into the sky and go shoot down these guys. Like I want it to be like, okay, before you go to mission 2, let me look around the city a little bit and find something, and explore a little bit and find some collectibles. I just want a little bit more freedom than just a mission to mission to mission kind of game.
Right.
I'm not too convinced that we'll get that.
Do we have a pizza bet on that?
I think we do have a pizza bet. I think we do already have one from from that list, but
I need a pizza fast. I need a pizza
will say,
July 3rd.
Gonna have to wait. Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to be easy to impress with this game because, of course, I want to, be hopeful that it is quality all around and great depth and length and everything. But even that Spider-Man experience where it was kind of janky and didn't look so great and stuff. I even really enjoyed that. Just the fact that I was able to fly, swing around the city and stuff like that. I thought it was really awesome.
And
this should be a similar.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this with Marvel behind it being a $40, $50 product, depending on which edition you buy. I hope it's got a bunch to it. It is going to be very story driven, as we know.
The question is I know a lot of people just recently got their refund on PlayStation Network for this game.
Right.
So the question is, why, if they do have finally a new release date, why do people get their money back? Do you think that was just kind of as a listen, we didn't hold up our end of the agreement. Here's your money back. If you want to pre-order again, great. If not, we get it because we screwed up. It's just kind of like,
I think so. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be some level of unspoken or actually clearly written contract. I haven't read the terms of service or whatever, but I feel like if you pay for a game that is promised to come out a certain day and it doesn't, I don't see how they have the right to take your money for it.
Agreed.
So that makes sense that they would refund people.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, so don't know if you guys noticed, but AUDICA got 3 new songs on the store.
I didn't notice that. What songs do we get?
Girls
actually,
Be Dancing. I can't believe I had to say the words "girls be dancing" in a
Is
breaking
that
news
the name
report.
of the song?
Yes,
that is one of them.
Ooh,
Brian's going to show some footage. I got some footage recorded, that just a couple quick clips down there to look at. But
did they also include women be shopping? Or is it just girls be dancing?
was that song based on like a black comedian from the '90s?
I'm just
actually, what's funny is
Sorry, guys.
that song does sound like an 80s kind of pop party like song. But the closest thing I could think of is like Prince, almost like very Prince inspired.
Okay.
In that way.
I like Prince.
What are the? I'm trying to get the new songs or what the name of the songs are.
Where did you find that? I don't see it yet.
It's on
they're on the PlayStation
store. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I'll go look.
Hey, listen. While you talk about these, AJ, I got to refill on coffee. I forgot to do that before the show. I'll be back.
Okay, so yeah, I did play all 3 of these, and at first, the first song started out, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Who listens to this?" And what gamers that own this game actually listen to this? It was Avalanche by Bex, and then
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and I was like,
"This is Girls Be Dancing" is by a group named Party Boys with an I. That's reprehensible. That's just disgusting.
It's pretty bad. But this Avalanche song by Bex was probably my favorite of the 3. And it starts out like I was like really like, oh, this is not good. And then like the bass line drops, and then it has like a lot of emotion behind it and stuff. And the mapping in AUDICA is pretty good. So this one was definitely my favorite. The Party Boys one had like okay mapping as well, and it's kind of fun. The other one, like, I just couldn't get into it at all. But AUDICA's good, man.
Here's what I wonder. I can't find any info about that song outside of AUDICA. I think it might be, how Harmonix always makes music for their own games. Like they make up some name for a group, but it's really in-house musicians at Harmonix. They've done that with like Amplitude and pretty much all their games. So I think these are actually just like exclusive to or exist only in AUDICA. At least Avalanche, it looks like that's the case. But also you should mention they're free, right? Are they free? They're free.
Yeah, these are 3 free songs.
Yeah, so that's cool. Can't hurt with free.
Yeah, always make sure and go. If you're looking for them, go download them off the PlayStation Store. Beat Saber just does all of theirs with patches, which is like just updates. And so this is just make sure you download off the store.
Yeah, I would recommend the first 2.
I'd recommend them all. They're free.
What are you talking about?
It's tough to complain. I would even take bad Beat Saber songs if they were free. I was like, just give me more.
But replaying this though, I really was like, what is it about this game that it never gets onto our top 25 list? Because I think it's a really good game. But maybe it's just more like a top 50 game.
It's so tough to say, man.
I would say, yeah.
Like if Beat Saber didn't exist, I think AUDICA would be on every top 20 list. I that's so dumb to say, but like when I'm putting together a list of, I'm going to say, hey, if you own a PlayStation VR, these are the 25 games you need to play. If Beat Saber's on there, I'm like, you know what? Like AUDICA's great, and I love AUDICA. And when you get good at some of the more advanced difficulties, I think it's even better than Beat Saber sometimes. But I just don't. I don't know if I see a place for 2 music rhythm games on a top 25 list.
Until Pistol Whip.
That's what I was going to say. I think Pistol Whip is going to make space for that. If Beat Saber didn't exist and AUDICA did, but then Pistol Whip came out, AUDICA would get knocked off the list. I guarantee you. Pistol Whip is people are really going to like Pistol Whip.
Yeah, I will say though, as you can see, my favorite thing about this game is absolutely being able to spin the guns and throw them up and stuff. You can see in the footage, I was having so much fun with that. That is just, man, I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, Pistol Whip is going to totally rule the day here.
It
But
gets whenever we talk about why games aren't on a top 25 list, it gets really hairy really fast. Right? Because it's been so long since a Survios game has been on a top 25 list, and I mean I love pretty much every Survios game that's come out.
I'm just trying to think which one would still make it. Like maybe Raw Data. People seem to really still like Raw Data. I see people in chat saying it's like their favorite PSVR game. I don't think about it very often.
Raw
but
Data is great.
It's very good. I just don't know if it's.
Sprint
they have
Vector
so many
is
good
still my
games
favorite.
that aren't top 20 games for me.
Yeah.
But that's a whole separate discussion. We don't need to get sidetracked. Where are we at on the agenda here?
All right. So next, we got a new clip from Outsourced Future Mental's Distortion VR, and posted up on Twitter. You can catch it on my Twitter or their Twitter. And it showed some new gameplay of just a very, very small clip of being on a train fight, a train gunfight. And boy, do I have some things to say about this.
Yeah, it's a short little clip, but yeah, it looks pretty cool, and should be hard to miss it because it's got like 90 hashtags on it. But yeah, this game looks enticing. I like the whole cyberpunk thing. But what are your thoughts, AJ? You sound like you got more to say.
Well, I was going to say that I love train fights in games. I loved it in Uncharted, but more importantly, well, not more importantly, but I also loved it in Zone of the Enders. There's a really cool sequence like that with the trains. I also really liked it in Siphon Filter. That was like one of my favorite. There it is. I was waiting to get Bryan with that. But Siphon Filter 2 had this awesome level, or even if you had the demo, where you're just making your way up the train and like fighting through it. And man, it is so much fun. And in VR, it's also really cool.
Yeah. This just looks super simple. This is your dude on top of a train, and you're just moving forward, and you're shooting guys that are on top of a train. I never want to tell developers what to do, but man, it would be so much cooler if there were, these like metal rods or beams or stuff that are coming at you, and you have to like avoid them, or or duck or just hit the duck button to just kind of drop down, just to kind of give you that. Right here, what we're seeing is like
some cover, some ducking stuff too. Yeah,
absolutely. What we're seeing right now to give you the sense of movement are basically red lines with like some barely textured walls, and to have like those metal beams coming at you as well would also, I think, give you a sense of not only impending doom, but also more things to deal with, and I think that would be a whole lot of fun. It looks really, really simple right now, and I know that. Is it Jeff from Outsource?
Yes.
I think he's still in like the beginning phases of this game. He's got a ways to go. At least for some of these, some of the videos look a whole lot better than others. This one seems like it has a ways to go. So I'm curious to see where he takes this one.
Real quick, while we have a brief opening here, Jay Meow with a $2 tip. Wow. First one in a while. Thank you guys for holding off and give us some time to talk. And like I said, that's Jay Meow, and he says, why isn't Perfect on the top 25 list? There's plenty of reasons for that. I did tell him it's on my top 5 list of most viewed videos for some fucking reason. I don't know why people look at that video.
Perfect and drunken bar fight. It just proves that's
the only reason I have views.
Just proves that being popular means nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we also got David Moore with a 99-cent tip. Just a little poop emoji. Just a little poop. That's all.
Oh, okay. Poop.
I do want to say that this is just one small clip of the game. This game is very early in development, so he's like this game. Every time he shows something off, there's been a lot more going on. So, it'll be interesting to see. Similar to like how Saints and Sinners had like the guy Peter Aikman from Treyarch. This has a guy that was formerly from Activision. However, he doesn't have a huge team behind him, so this is going to be a smaller game. But I just think visually, even though this is simple right now, I think visually it would still be cool going through this train right here.
Here, I'm actually going to throw some other distortion video up so that people can see that it's not just because I think the lighting they killed it, or Jeff killed it with the lighting in this like kind of cyberpunk future town. Like it looks really good. The environments look great. Now it just needs to be a little more populated.
Yeah.
As long as I can recreate the famous train scene from Speed, the ending of Speed. What does it say? Heads up or something like that.
I don't
Do you
know.
remember this scene?
I don't.
Nobody remembers this scene.
No,
They're fighting on a train. Dennis Hopper's head gets clocked clean off by like a sign on top of the subway thing. I don't know. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, everyone's like saying now this looks way better.
Okay.
Real quick, one more from David Moore because he didn't have anything to say before. $4.99, David Moore, reminding you of the terrible sticker situation on here. I guess he's saying he wishes he had better stickers than the poop emoji.
Oh yeah, I got to work on that.
Make us some fancy ones.
In all my
We got
free
plenty
time,
on.
we'll make sure it happens.
Get one of the mods to do it.
Oh yeah. Do any of our mods are they able to do that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right.
Okay.
I love supporting our one-man dev teams. Obviously Separation came out pretty cool, and we've had a bunch of other very cool one-man dev team games. So hopefully Distortion will be the next big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so moving on, it is time, guys, for the giveaway. I've been seeing the comments going. We've got, is it 2 keys?
We got 2 North American keys to give away, and I want to clarify, guys. Even if you don't live in North America, you can absolutely enter the contest. You just need to create a North American account and then download it, and you're good to go. It's super duper simple. People are like, how come it's only North America? I was like, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this game, guys, is fantastic. Good luck. We've got 2 keys for.
Hold on. What game is it?
It is Saints and Sinners, The Walking Dead, and these keys are via Skydance. Thank you guys so much for providing these to us. And
I
good
didn't
luck
tell them.
to everybody.
They have no idea we're doing this.
They told me they were going to watch, but I guess they're a bunch of liars.
They drink Pepsi.
But
what can you expect?
They do. They drink Diet
Are they
Pepsi.
Pepsi folks? I could drink Diet Pepsi.
They
if it was in
drink
front of
Diet.
me, it's
Oh,
fine.
no, Diet Pepsi. No. Mm-mm.
Is that
We
right?
were going to be friends, and then they said Diet Pepsi.
Okay,
No,
so real quick, I know we said we would allow comments that are relevant to jump the line.
Sure.
So Professor Lilith, that's for you, $4. She says, I want to play as a zombie in Saints and Sinners. That'd be
you
a
can
fun
almost
mode.
do that. You can walk amongst
cover
the
yourself
zombies.
in guts. Yeah, if you cover yourself in guts. And on the PC, this is really funny. There's a trophy for because the PC has like voice activated stuff that they're adding in later to the PSVR version. And there's a trophy for talking to a person while you're dressed up like a zombie in the guts.
That's a PS trophy too.
Oh, well, but
It's
we
like
can't
interacting with somebody.
Oh, it just interact then. Just
Right,
interact.
right.
Okay, I thought it was talk because they have the voice.
Yeah,
activated.
not talking to them, but
That's really cool.
Yep. What a
so-
fantastic game. Brian and I both gave it 10 out of 10. Dave,
would
what
have-
would you give this game?
If I had made a video out of that, I just have a working computer as of this afternoon, so I might still do a review, but it's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me too. It's
I absolutely love
think
this
it's the
game.
best game that we have on PSVR. It's my favorite game on PSVR.
I think it is
and
too.
I've put a lot of time into it. I did the whole post game. I've unlocked every single thing that you can. I think I'm on day like 50 almost.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been putting a lot of time in it. It's very fun.
I unlocked the grass cutter, and like I started. You can hold it upside down like a samurai. So I've been like doing
You
that
can also
stuff.
hand guys just like lop their head off with like
Yeah.
no effort at all.
Oh my
So
God,
how
it's
are we
so
doing this
fantastic.
giveaway? Am I picking or are you
No.
guys picking?
I got it coming up right now.
Yeah, ready to go?
Good.
All right. Let me know when you're ready. I'll do a drum roll. But good luck, cats. Thank you guys for entering. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Always love you guys.
Good luck, everybody.
And really good luck. It's an amazing game.
Yeah.
And if you don't win and can find some way to buy it, I highly recommend just buying it and supporting them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
would-
went from being the guy at the beginning when it came out who was like, don't buy the tourist edition. They're ripping you off. They just want an extra $10. Avoid it. And now I bought it myself after I'd already beaten the game just because I wanted to see the stuff that was in it. So
Oh
they
my
definitely
God.
earned all the money that they are going to get for this game.
Hit me one more time, Dave.
Okay, we got
Yeah, and I think this game did
can read
really
this
well,
one.
by the way.
this one's for you to read.
That is my dude 97 Skynet, the T800 Game Cat. Meow, 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 meow. God, it's been so long since I've done that. With the $6.99 donation, thank you so much, man. It says, don't insult my Diet Pepsi, beverage of choice for me. You and Gamer Girl in the Discord, you guys just became best friends. Gamer Chick. Sorry. Gamer Chick. Yeah, she was talking about how She loves Diet Pepsi so much. And dude, I'm in Atlanta. I've got the Coca-Cola headquarters. So you get that out. You get out of here with that. I don't really care, but Coke is better.
All right, I've got one, and now it's picking the other one real quick here.
Okay.
I've got the microphone, Dave. Coke is better.
I've got a microphone too, motherfucker. Where's the?
All right, here we go. I got the two winners picked randomly by Sandra Cries. Not
you,
Sandra
Sandra.
Cries at all.
Stop crying.
It's not Cries. And the first winner is. Oh God, I need to stop picking winners with crazy last names that I can't pronounce. First winner is Cole Kuzmarski. Cole Kuzmarski.
Can you put his name in the chat or something?
Well,
Cole Kuzmarski.
I'll definitely message him on PSN after this is over. His PSN is beated-fission, and I'll absolutely make sure that we get you your key directly after the show. Congratulations, Cole Kuzmarski. God damn it. Okay, and the other winner is. Do we get another drum roll or no?
Sure.
Our friend Skibby the Game Cat. Right?
Skibby! Yeah!
Skibby.
I love it when Game Cats win,
They
man.
watched me play like all of Borderlands 2 on stream.
Nice.
Giving me tips the whole time.
Skibby's one of the few cats I've met in real life, man. Actually, he before that Parole kind of got to be bigger at the first PAX East that I went to with Dez, Jeremy, and Michelle. We actually met Skibby in real life.
Oh,
very
cool.
very
I
cool.
didn't know that.
So I'm glad I'm glad one of the keys is going to an official Game Cat. Congratulations, Skibby! I'll get you the
Long
key
time.
after the show.
Long time
Long
Game Cat, too.
for sure.
Dave, hit me one more time.
Hit me, baby, one more.
Brian, you want to read this one?
Oh, sure. I was gonna bring it up. Hit it.
Speaking of Britney Spears, hold on. I'll tell you later. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. There's only one, right? Is this the last one?
Yes.
Okay. This is Tom Merlin with $4.99 donation saying, do you think PSVR 2 will launch side by side with the PlayStation 5? I think that's an easy answer. I think the answer is absolutely not. I think Sony wants to ride high and say, listen, you've already got a PSVR headset. You can use it on your PlayStation 5, and that'll be a nice seamless transition, the least expensive transition. In my real fucked up brain, I'm pretty convinced that we'll get new Move controllers within that first year, though, before PlayStation VR 2 launches. But that's just speculation. I think it's going to be about a year after PS5 launches that we'll get PSVR 2.
Yeah, they've actually stated that they didn't want to release the PSVR 2 and PS5 at the same time because it would be just too expensive.
So much money.
So, but we can expect a PSVR 2 within 2 years from now, most likely.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense because this is what they did really with the PS4 and PSVR 2 because the Move controllers essentially are the same exact thing as the PS3. They just moved them up forward.
Right.
Still worked with the next piece of hardware. So. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but I think it's a good business decision to wait a little bit.
Skibby's in the chat. He's like, I won.
Skibby's in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. So glad. All right. Let's move.
I like how you allowed that. I tried to block that, and you got.
Oh, really?
Anyways, yeah.
I don't usually allow self-promotion, but I think that one's funny. Damn it, Nick, you deleted it.
I didn't see it, but yeah, no self-promotion. That's one of the rules in the chat. So
and it's just some guy saying, if you like playing games high, you should check out my channel because I review every game while I'm blazed as fuck. And he said 420 blaze it.
Well, I like the comment. I'll say that. That's for sure.
All right. So congrats to Skibby and Cole. Congrats, guys. So moving on, Budget Cuts has gotten a new release date. We know that was originally intended for May 15th. Yes.
Which
it was
would have
actually, it would have been tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow.
That and Iron Man were supposed to come out tomorrow.
Remind me of that. That's bad.
So it has a new hey, if they got some more time to polish it and stuff, I'm totally cool with that.
And they're just trying to sell physical copies.
Yeah. So July 10th is the new release date for this, and I do have some additional news for this as well. Got the scoop, guys. Got the GAMESCAST scoop.
AJ, tell us what the additional news is.
The additional news is it will include the arcade mode. So it has some kind of arcade mode that The PC side had added later, and this is going to come with the DLC in this version. And they did make a comment, Brian. What did they say about this version?
So this will be the most content-rich version available, which
I like.
I'm curious. So I'm curious to know. It's like, well, obviously the arcade thing came to PC at one point, right? So that's not it. So there's something else that makes this have more content than the PC version, and I'm curious to know what that is.
It could be minor, just to keep expectations in check.
Yeah.
Because Walking Dead has stuff on PSVR that isn't in PC yet. I don't want to say what it is because it's kind of a surprise, but
Right, definitely minor.
it's like a minor thing. But when you see it, you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then you find out they don't have it on PC yet.
Right.
So it could be a little tweaker, nothing huge, but we'll see.
Who's a little tweaker? Who's a little tweaker? You're a little tweaker.
Carlos, where's Carlos?
So for those who don't know, this game is a mixture of like stealth, comedy. There is like some action in it as well. And you're basically traveling through an office. And the arcade mode, what it sounded like was that you have to kill as many robots as possible and destroy as much stuff as possible and actually like make the company lose money. And that's kind of like what the arcade mode is all about. So I'm looking forward to this game, man. I think not just content wise, I think it's supposed to be like quality. They were saying this is like one of the most polished and like well running versions of the game.
I like that aspect of the locomotion where it's sort of like they took what would be a limitation.
Portal, right?
They took a limitation teleportation movement and turned it into a feature because you can like look through the hole of where you're going to pop out in. And so it is like Portal, like you're basically opening up a portal to where you're about to teleport. And since it's a stealth game, you can like scope it out first and then go through, which that seems really fun. I like that idea. So
I'm assuming you're able to like when you're looking through the portal, like take down enemies and stuff before you even teleport to that area. So you
probably
toss that right through the portal. It sounds like a very cool gameplay feature.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to this one. I'm trying to keep expectations in check, just because it was an earlier PC VR title, but man, it does look like a lot of fun. And sometimes well told stories that are humorous can really add to the experience.
Oh, absolutely. As long as they hit the mark. Like if they pull a chroma gun, oh god. But if they nail that sort of like
pretty cringy,
like you said, like Portal style, irreverent, kind of funny, smart humor. Which I think they do. I've heard good stuff about it, so I think it shouldn't be too cheesy or anything.
Yeah. They're like the raw data story was really well told. I thought that was awesome. That added a whole nother level to the game. All right, budget cuts July 10th. Super duper excited. Yeah. A lot of good stuff coming our way.
Yep. All right. So today, guys, Eclipse Edge of Light finally added move support. This game is a sci-fi short 2-hour sci-fi adventure from the developers that worked on God of War and Jonathan Hawkins and his team over there at White Elk Studios.
Mm-hmm.
White Elk Studios. And and I got to check this out today, and I was pretty pleased with it, Brian. How about you?
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with it too. I mean, right off the bat here, I'll just go on a little negative rant real quick before you tell everybody how great it is. It's like don't fucking make me push the trigger to walk forward. I mean, come on. Like there are certain things that are just so inherent in the PlayStation Move locomotion system. Like I said, we've gotten tons of comments, people being like, "How is he walking around?" And we say, well, there's kind of a standard in place where you hold the move button, you kind of point to the direction you want to walk, and that's the way you're walking. This is like hold the trigger. And then the turn buttons are the top face buttons instead of the bottom face buttons. And it's like, oh, guys, you had it. You almost had it. But within about 5 minutes, like I'd acclimated and I was used to it, and it was fine. What did you think?
First of all, the music in this game is excellent. I forgot how good the music is. It's the same dude that did the music for what was that like? Oh, Outer Wilds, something like that.
I haven't played that yet. It's supposed to be really good though.
Yeah, same composer that did that. But in terms of the move support, so immediately I felt so much better looking down, having the move controller, seeing my forearms, and having these big like robotic space hands. And then like the trigger to walk forward is weird, and then you press the move button and it backs up. I wish you could switch those. There's so many games.
That seems backwards.
It seems like it's backwards for sure. And I really
wish... I watch backwards a lot.
Yeah. when you're trying to do a lot,
for beating the whole game backwards.
no, but there are some good qualities about this game. It's not that much, I don't think. I think it's like a $15 game, but this was obviously a ported like mobile game. So I think of all the mobile games that have been ported, it's kind of like the best one. Like it's supposed to be like the best game that was on the Oculus Go, or Oculus Go. Sorry,
I have to take a little bit of. I have to argue with that a little bit because I think
that's not my words.
Is the best port.
I didn't actually like that very much.
I know you didn't like it, but I think it's much better than this game.
They're pretty different. I don't know, but
I think it should be said that when Eclipse launched, the DualShock 4 support felt fine. Like you have this artifact in your hand that you throw to break like pottery vases, whatever the hell it is around the environment, and you're collecting something. And that felt fine. You know, you hold a button down, you flick the controller, and there's got to be some aim assist on there because you could hit a target like a half mile away, no problem at all. And I was concerned because these are the same guys who did Covert, and I felt like that the move controls in Covert weren't terribly well done. You couldn't just reach out and push a button. Like you had to stand in a position and hold the move button, and then you'd watch an animation of a button being pressed. And it was like, that's not what we want move support to be. Like we want it to be more natural. And I think this game, just by nature of what kind of game it is, and a lot of it's just tossing that artifact, feels really good. I think this was implemented much better than Covert, to be honest. It is weird because the move button is what tosses the thing instead of the trigger. You know, used to holding something with the trigger and letting it go. But since you have the artifact in your hand the whole time, I totally understand why you wouldn't want to be holding the trigger the whole time and then letting it go. But the move button, it works. It's weird, but it works.
For being developed so long ago, I do think it's a pretty. I love the art style of this game. I think it's a pretty game. It's a very relaxing game. I will say though, Brian, do you remember that puzzle where there's like the clock and the two dials are rotating, and you have to throw the ball like right when they're matched up?
Yeah,
that part was a freaking pain in the ass.
Oh, with the move controllers?
Yes, it was so difficult. But I remember it being difficult with the DualShock as well.
It's the longest headphone cable in the world. I'm all tangled up. This is the longest cable in the world.
Oh, mine's really long too when I use my big old headphones. Yeah, this one's pretty short.
I actually had a little bit of an issue with that puzzle with the DualShock 4 in the first place. So just because my timing was either bad or I wasn't standing close enough. So I only played the first 10 minutes or so of this game with the moves, and I was like, "Yep, this is good. This is I think the moves are the better way to play this game."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good job on them for adding this, because I think this was a important update for this game for them. I'd still keep it. I gave it a 7 out of 10 on my review.
It'd be the same, I think.
And I'm not gonna increase the score that I gave it, but I'm gonna, I feel a lot better about that 7 out of 10 with this thing.
You know what sucks? Really. What really sucks is that whenever we talk about how great the move implementation on something is, there's two things that always happens. One is like, if this game doesn't have move support, I'm not buying it because I need hands in VR. Like it's not real VR without,
I kind of get it.
I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. And the other thing we always hear is, "Fuck this! I can't play this because it only has move support. I can't because move controllers are so hard to find. It's not just like in the EU or UK now; it's worldwide. Anytime you look for move controllers, they're ridiculously expensive and hard to find. So it's like, what the fuck is Sony doing over there? They're like trickling out the supply of move controllers to the point where no one who wants them can get them for anything under like an astronomical price. So move controls." Exclusive move controllers are a double-edged sword, but so having a game like this that actually does both is nice.
Absolutely, yeah. I wish more games had DualShock support, just because, it cuts off a lot of people who want to play VR, even if it's not the best way to play it.
Right.
If there was some way you could play Saints and Sinners with DualShock 4, they'd sell a lot more copies and a lot more people could get in. Because in certain regions, like in Europe, I know you can't even get those things right now. Like it's been hard for months and months and months to get them. So
it would help if there was like a standard, like there's still no standardization yet. So it's kind of still
VR is, every developer is kind of trying to develop a language for VR on their own, and they're not really working with or paying attention to other devs that much. So I think it'll take a while before there's a common language of interfaces and inputs and all that stuff in VR. I think it'll take at least a gen, like by the end of PS5, we'll see some shit where people like really know how to use VR.
For sure. For sure. Did we miss a tip? I don't miss a
I
tip.
was going to call it out a minute ago because it was a big one.
Right.
This is from, let me scroll up a little bit.
This is your dude, Dave.
My dude. I'm forgetting where the camera is now because I'm used to it being over here. This is Uncle JC, that stray game cat, who just changed his name to Game Cat, and he'll be shouted out next week on Viewer Takeover. It says meow meow scratch scratch. He's taking to being a game cat very quickly.
Yeah.
He's got the hang of it. Thank you, Uncle JC. And for you didn't ask for this, but I'm going to do this. I haven't taken one yet. I'm going to do my tip shot.
Like, he didn't ask for it, but you're getting it. This is right.
Bonus. Ooh, that was rough.
Well, you didn't ask for it, but since you gave us a tip, I'm getting a hooker tonight. All right. This is Dave's way of saying I get to do whatever the fuck I want, and use tips as an excuse.
Oh, absolutely. I can just turn my camera off whenever I feel like I go take a piss.
I'm gonna order a pizza every time I get a tip.
Order a pizza.
All right.
The new hit single from Dave Station VR. I'm gonna order a pizza.
I like it. They should
I'm
put it in
pepperoni.
You've convinced me. The song is so catchy. I'm already ordering a pizza as we speak. We're gonna beat the pizza guy. Come on, let's do this. All right, what's up next?
All right. Gorn got some new gameplay, and I was supposed to watch it, and I didn't. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to watch this too. I kind of skipped through it.
It starts out.
Gorn comes out next week.
Starts out where you're like walking up to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
There's the guy going through the hallway, and then it opens up, and you see Gorn. It looks like exactly like Gorn looks like. It's just Gorn, so it's Gorn. So it's coming. If you like the idea of it, it'll be fun, I'm sure, for a few minutes, and if not, you can probably skip it. We'll see, I guess.
Interesting. You sort of mentioned something here. Why is this? I can't win here. I cannot win. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. Something's fucking.
The gameplay, the article, Upload VR actually posted the footage and an article on it. And Bryan, you said they weren't saying very good things about it, right?
I mean, it really depends on how you look at it, right?
So did they do a write-up about the performance and stuff, or did they just say, here's some footage?
They said that they were having tracking issues or something like that,
Of course they always say that, dude. Like, as much as, I don't want to shit on David Jagna. He's a cool guy. He does a lot of work out there in VR journalism. But, like, when he was talking about Blood and Truth, or Saints and Sinners, he was like, oh, I think the Move controllers are going to make this totally messed up because there's no way you could do this properly with the Move controllers. I'm like, dude, yeah, you can. Have you played like half of the game to do it perfectly? Like, I don't know. Right.
But for the people who have been entrenched in like the PSVR ecosystem for, I don't know, more than 6 months, man, we all know that, hey, you got turn buttons, you got walk button. Like we are very, very acclimated to getting around in VR, and it works seamlessly.
They seem like tracking issues to people who are used to 360 room scale.
Right. I want to turn around. It's like, what?
Yeah, and it's like, well, just know the limitations of the thing you're using and set it up properly, and it works. It like 98% of all situations, it just works.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to say my hand hasn't flown off when I'm playing Beat Saber or something, but like rarely.
Right. If there were tracking issues, if there were major tracking issues on Beat Saber, then Expert Plus would be impossible.
Yeah, and people would just be mad at it.
Right.
People love Beat Saber because it works.
So Dave, you started off when you talked about this, you were like, "Oh, you're trudging into the Coliseum," and that's something that was actually a little bit shocking. It looks like in this footage, you don't just push the button to walk forward. You grab the world, grab the world, grab the world. Grab the world, and I was like, "Ooh, this did not work out so well in paper dolls, where it was like click 1 foot, click 1 foot, click 1 foot," and this is just kind of an extension of that, where it's doom to doom, and I'm like, I kind of get it. I think doing this motion and having to do this motion kind of makes you feel like that gladiator, like kind of maybe give you the weight of the character.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I'm a little shocked that this is the control scheme they went with.
Yeah, I didn't notice that when I was watching the trailer. So interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, this is Gorn's coming out next week, man. We're gonna get a few more days until it comes out. It's coming out on the 19th? That's Tuesday. So it is in people's hands. Hopefully, we'll have it in our hands soon, so we can have a review ready for you at launch. We can do some gameplay footage of it when it comes out. But so far, we've not been in contact with Free Lives. So with any luck, we'll have that for you. If not, we tried. That's the best I can say.
Somebody out there has a PlayStation build that runs already. Not us, but somebody's got one.
It's reassuring. That's all I got to say. Because it looks like Gorn. It looks like it's working properly. The physics look top notch. The blood is everywhere. This is what people want out of Gorn, and they fucking nailed it. So
it's also coming with some pinata mode for people that don't want the violence.
Oh yeah, I think that's fun though because you can put kids in it and stuff, and it seems like a game kids would really get a kick out of. You know,
I thought you were saying you put kids in the pinata, and they're like, "Fast."
No. Oh, you just beat up the kids inside the pinata? No. Yeah, if it's pretty gory. That's part of the whole thing. But I imagine the physics are still fun. Smacking guys around, even if it's not bloody. So yeah, if you got like someone 12 or older.
I don't know if you guys are seeing this footage right now. But the guy's actually holding the opponent up in the air with one hand, with the other hand ripping the limbs off one by one, and they stretch out like a Stretch Armstrong first, and then they snap off. So I think this game is cool. I think it's going to be goofy. It's going to be fun. I hope we're seeing kind of like fast turning. I don't want to call it click turning, but it looks like fast click turning in this, where it's actually like foomp, foomp, instead of just being.
Well, sometimes in a combat game that can be okay because you kind of the speed you get from the quick turn adds a little bit of time for you to actually hit the guy.
It's all about options. We just want options.
Options will be good. Let's have options.
Hell yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you want the rest of this footage, Upload VR has that. Seems to be exclusive to Upload VR at the moment. We'll let you know as soon as we get our hands on it.
And just to remind the chat, when is Gorn coming out again?
19th, I believe, which is Tuesday.
19th.
Yep.
5 days, guys. Get ready.
Yep. Set your timers.
And the price is $20, $25, something
$20,
like that.
$19.99.
$20. Okay, that's what I thought.
What is wrong with my YouTube? Is your YouTube working fine right now?
Dude, no, YouTube sucks lately. It's like
YouTube has been.
It's saying upload a video to get started on my channel. There's my chat died. I was just trying to refresh the chat and I can't get back to this. So anyways,
do it.
Pixel Rip 1995 came out this week, you guys.
Yeah. Time on this one.
Yeah. So we want to talk about it. Bryan, guys, for anyone who hasn't played it, we might have a couple spoilers in here, but we really need to do a deep dive on this game and talk about it. Because we got a lot that we want to say on this.
Yeah, and really, the spoilers they're not gonna screw up your enjoyment of the game. Like if you guys want to stick around, it's mostly just going to be about which games are included and some stuff about the plot line that won't spoil the plot line. It's still enjoyable. But
some of the mechanics and stuff.
They're not like egregious spoilers. It's not like we're going to tell you your mom dies in chapter 3 or something like that. Which does happen.
I was like, my mom's gonna die in chapter 3. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, but before we even get started on the discussion, I do want to say that Anna Ribeiro sent me a DM recently saying because my face is on one of the collectible trading cards you get in the game, and
which I couldn't find. I was looking everywhere for that thing, and I couldn't find you.
Yeah, it'll be in a future update. The cards are not implemented in the PSVR version yet.
That's what happened with the Quest one too. I was looking under every Pringles can in the fucking world trying to find you, Bryan.
Sorry,
and I didn't know that you weren't in there.
Listen, I do not work for Arvery. I have no control over how this works.
Well, you need to put in a note to Anna that maybe me and AJ could get our pictures in there too. There's still time.
Maybe eventually. Maybe Pixel Rip 1999. We'll get.
Okay, hold on, Bryan.
Yeah, what?
There's people in there. What are you playing with?
Oh, it's a pen with a roll of tape.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one of those like noisemaker things that goes chicka chicka chicka.
It's just a really quiet noisemaker.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Shit, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. But yeah, so if you already played 1995, you'll have a reason to go back soon. There are trading cards that are scattered around with all different YouTubers that were supportive of 1989. That in the game,
except for me and AJ, but everybody else is in there. Yeah.
Well, important YouTubers.
There's PCVR guys with like 200 subs in there, but that's fine.
Guys, let's talk about the game.
Oh, really?
You can deal your petty squabbles later.
I'm petty as hell. I can't see the chat either, AJ. I lost the chat here.
Yeah, I tried my YouTube
is still live, right, Bryan? Like, you can tell we're live, right?
Yeah, no, everything's working fine. The chat's running fine. Yep.
I don't see shit.
I think YouTube's having some major issues right now because I can't. My chat's gone, so I can't see the chat anymore.
Same.
But wanted to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if it's happening to you too, then it's not just one of us. Then it's something.
No,
on
it's
YouTube.
absolutely two of you for sure.
Then it's you too. For sure.
Right.
Well, I noticed that there was like a big drop off in the people watching at the same time it happened too.
Yeah.
So I think there's something.
Something definitely happened. Yeah.
Damn it, YouTube. Anyways, so Pixel Rip 1995 obviously takes place after it's the sequel to 1989. Brian and I both gave this game an 8 out of 10. We got to really do our best to get out of each other's heads and stop having the same score. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But I've got lots of things I want to praise about this game, and then I've also got some heavy opinions on this game as well, because I do have some problems with it and some things that I'd like to see improve. But there's also a lot that I loved about it. So who wants to kick this off? Who wants to get started?
Real quick, I just want to say, when I'm looking at the YouTube website, there are no comments anywhere.
It looks like
gone.
Heads up.
It's a white page.
Heads up. It looks like YouTube shut down, but we are still streaming. So
okay, cool.
So people might have to just come back and watch the rest of this later. But
that's fine.
Hopefully it'll get back up and running soon, and everyone can find us again. Johnny Rypop just sent me a text in saying that
is weird.
Yep, because the chat stopped working on my end now too. So
all right, so we're gonna do a deep dive on this game. Sorry guys, at least hopefully you get to come back and watch this and get caught up. But
I will spend another 2 hours doing it later, I guess.
So yeah. This one, Brian, takes place in the 16 and 32-bit 16-bit era.
Eventually
little tiny bit of a little bit of the 32-bit era. Let's start with what we really liked about this game.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what I really liked about this game was, first of all, more pixel ripped, right? The formula is awesome. Dave and I were both concerned that it was going to be, too much more of the same and not be original. But I really think that there was enough originality here to carry the pixel ripped formula into, a new generation of gaming.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways too, in terms of new original stuff, there's that. But also, I think every component of the game, the first one, is improved in this sequel. I think the story is much better. I think that the character models, the graphics, it's hard to say with a game like this that is pretty low poly, kind of low graphical intensity. But I think it looks better than the first one too. And it's got some clever ideas. So they did a really good job at not just kind of rehashing the same thing, like you said, which is kind of, I didn't have high hopes for it because I thought it was just going to be the same thing again. But it's not. So it's very good.
It's not the same thing again, but it is the same thing again.
It is, of course. Yeah. But they add some new twists on it and stuff.
Yeah.
They improved the mechanics. They really improved the mechanics of like the game within the game. Before in 89, you would just look at a straw, pick up the straw, use that to shoot something in the room, distract somebody. And this one, they got a little bit more creative with it, where there's things like the controllers flipping around, which was a part that I absolutely loved. There's stuff where you have to get to if you're underwater, you have to get to the water or get to an air bubble in time. Otherwise, the water starts rising in the room.
Cool. Yeah,
right.
That was so cool.
Right. And yeah, there's moments where you have to jump back and forth. You grab a weapon, you grab an item from one game, you use it into another game. So I really loved, personally, I thought they did all of the stuff really well with, like you said, the story. And then I think they nailed the 16. I think they almost nailed the 16-bit era games. I would have liked to see, instead of just being Dot with the Mega Man Buster, the M Buster, the entire time, I would have liked to see a couple more gameplay elements from those games within those games.
I agree with that, because the one time that they shake that up and they change the formula, which is the Star Fox segment,
yes,
which is probably my favorite part of the entire game. That is the only time when you're not just Dot being basically Metroid in some version of some game, because she
Right.
always has the gun arm and charge up shot and stuff. Even if you're playing like Legend of Zelda in the first game, or if you're playing, Sonic or whatever it is, she's still just shooting stuff. Which it plays out in some interesting ways, like in that one where you switch back and forth between games. I liked that they had those sort of Metroid style power ups, like you got the bomb, you got the flamethrower and stuff like that. So it's cool, but when you get a chance to break out of that, like the Road Rash scene and the Star Fox scene were just top notch. So I wish they would break out of that a little more often. Hopefully in 99 they change it up more and include more of those moments. Because it does get kind of samey,
Bryan?
even though you're in different games, it's like the same mechanic.
Yeah,
Brian, what do we got?
one of the big issues I had was that there really wasn't enough variety. There was everything did feel like a side scroll, and I know that 1995 was probably the era of side scrollers, SNES 16-bit side scrolling platformers, sure, but like, I mean, why wasn't there an F-Zero clone in there, to give you something like super exciting, and like I could totally see.
Oh, hold on, it's really easy to get into whataboutism with this game, and like, what if they had this?
Yeah.
What if they had this? What if they had this?
Yeah,
I don't think we can fault it for not having certain games from the era, because you can't put everything.
But I can fault it for not having enough diversity. And
that's true.
When everything feels like Donkey Kong Country or Metroid, it's like these games. They might have changed the background. Right? They changed the backgrounds. Right? They changed the backgrounds, but they didn't really change the gameplay.
You're right. That's true.
And that's what I mean. When they have that Street Puncher, which is like Streets of Rage, it would have been cool to have like you damn right. I tried pressing 2 buttons at once to see if it would do a special move and drain my health or something like that, or have combos or be able to throw. The specifics of the games that you were playing, I do wish were done a little bit more, like a little bit better.
AJ and I talked about this at length the other night. That scene specifically, it's really cool because they totally nail the look and sound and feel of Streets of Rage. But even Streets of Rage back then had a grab, had a special move button, had this shit that this game doesn't even bother with.
Right.
And it's like, I get that you're giving me that nostalgia hit with the style, but if it's not even as fully featured as the original game that you're referencing, then maybe you missed a little bit of the mark there. I think, on the flip side, that Star Fox scene fucking blew me away, and I loved it. Yeah. And they are working on a game. So if you guys haven't played, not to spoil too much, but there's a moment where you fly a Star Fox-style ship and shoot, but with your hand, like it's a paper plane. So like this is, Tree Guy is...
It had the similar mechanics that you would see in the thing in Star Fox.
Yeah, but that like VR aspect of, I'm a kid playing with like a toy plane, but I'm playing Star Fox. That was such a clever, unique way to do that. And Arvory is working on a full game in that style that is entirely that, which is really cool. So keep an eye out on that. It's actually on their website if you guys want to see a preview of it.
Interesting.
Arvory.com, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
They have some pictures, and I think maybe even a video, but definitely some pictures up there of what that is. And that's actually, they stole the idea from another game they were working on to put it in here. Yeah. I believe so. There's at least one other. I think there's like maybe 2 other games they're working on. It's all on their website. You can check it out.
Okay. Brian and I also talked about this game. Oh, go ahead.
No one heard me ask that question because my audio on OBS was off, but it's all good.
Oh, okay.
Wait, nobody in the chat heard you?
No, nobody listening.
There is no chat. I'm sorry.
All right. No,
he asked
YouTube is completely down right now, but it says we're still streaming. So I get my fingers crossed that like at the end of it all, this is actually going to still be one video somewhere.
What's fucking incredible to me? The day that I get my new PC and I don't freeze, the entirety of YouTube fucking goes down. This has never happened in years of doing this shit.
It's all right.
We're gonna. YouTube's like, nope, can't let Dave work here.
Yep, we're gonna keep the content coming. Is it back up again?
I think we're back up. Oh, we're totally back. Triangular just says, "Oh my god, we're back."
Oh my god!
All right.
Hell yeah, man. We thought we lost you, cats. We thought we lost you. Don't ever leave us again.
All right, I think double check, make sure we get the new chat window up and running here.
Oh man,
wonderful.
JD's calling me.
JD's calling you.
JD Mounts, it's back on, man.
Yeah, I know. I got a text.
This is what text messages are for. Don't fucking call.
Well, he thought, yes.
Yeah, anybody who's got my phone number who wants to be on the GAMESCAST, just call me right now and you'll be on.
So let me get you cats caught up real quick. We said a lot of positive things about, it referencing the 16-bit era.
Yep.
And we thought there were some cool things. And then we were kind of getting into some of the negatives. And we were talking about how, for example, Streets of Rage section where we wish there was like combos or grabbing or something more that was in the actual Streets of Rage game that you'd be able to do in this.
And real quick, AJ, I don't think we have to rehash because the video was still working for everybody, and they said we've been here the whole time. So I think they saw us talking about that. They just couldn't. Ooh, I just fucking jabbed my microphone. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I think they saw it.
Okay, cool. So they were still able to watch.
Before.
So yeah, the other thing that I had, there was like 3 things total that I had a problem with in this game, but I'm going to tell you why I still stuck with an 8 out of 10 at the end. The other thing was Bryan and I were talking about this, and in 1989, there was like so many references to stuff in the 80s. There was an excessive use of references where not just you look down and you see one reference, but you see like 5 or 6. And that was something else.
Alone. The first level of 1989 alone, you look down at your desk and there is like, a GamePro magazine and there is a Rubik's Cube.
Power and stuff.
Right. I mean, just like 100 different things all on the table, all on the desk at the same time. And you're like, whoa, I am like fucking in 1989 right now. There's a lot of shit here. Also, could one of you guys real quick send me the link to the chat? Because it's not working from my end, and I know it's.
Yeah, I got you. I already got it.
Okay.
Already done.
Also, somebody said Super Chat is broken, so I don't know if tips can come in. Sorry, guys, if you do want to tip. It looks like that's not working right now. Sorry.
Well,
hopefully we get back up and running completely soon.
The show's on us today, then. Yeah. No, but just kidding. But yeah, so
shots for no reason.
I do feel like 1989 was more 80s than this was 90s with all the games in this were there was a more selection of games to choose from, which I liked more, but the references definitely there wasn't like 20 references around.
Okay, hold on. Super Chat is not broken.
David Moore just tipped.
Thank you guys for testing though.
Hold on. I dropped streak. I gotta get him again. All right, first one. David Moore, $4.99 to help update the YouTube servers. So the money now is going from my PC fund into the YouTube fund.
There we go. That's what Google needs is more money.
Right.
Nick Mulo, the Game Cat, our stunning mod, breathtaking man, $4.99. You're wrong, right, Pop? It does work.
Thanks, VR Grid was trying to message me.
I think everyone should test it. Everybody in the chat, test Super Chat. See,
we're not sure that it's working.
Totally
it worked twice, but will it work 5 times?
Will it work for everybody?
Yeah,
we don't know.
Every time.
So here's as far as comparing 1989 to 1995, I felt like 89. The word I keep using, I used the word truant in my review, and because it felt like you were. You were doing something wrong, like you were like against the system. It almost felt like a subversive game, right? And then when they took it to 1995, there's this whole family-friendly, family-centric story with a cartoon, like a real cartoon world, and like goofy, happy dialogue, and it just kind of gives this whole thing like this, like soft, family-friendly feel, and it kind of eliminates all of that. And it's like Pixel Ripped is cool.
The edge.
Yeah, the edge is gone.
I can see that. And I mean, they sort of try to include it still because your mom doesn't want you playing the games. But like you said, not.
But that's in a family sense.
And by the end of it, your mom loves video games, so it's like it's not rebellious at all. She came around and realized that it was not even a weird thing to be doing in the first place. So yeah, I mean, I did like the story arcs. I like that the characters have story arcs. Yeah. It's a much more developed narrative, and there are emotional moments and stuff like that. It's more like a story in a game,
right? And I think that was better.
Yeah, so I think in that way it's an improvement, but I
But
do
I
agree with
like
you that it lost some of that edge that it had in the
And I
first.
like the edge. I like the unpredictability. I like the over the top zaniness, like the just how crazy
Yeah.
it was at times. Like what is going on right now? And like how it would like you'd be like falling through like different worlds and stuff, and just so
Well,
much chaos. The chaos is a little bit of what I missed.
I think the part of it too is that we're used to it now because we played the first one. So the first one was like
Right.
groundbreaking in a way where it's like,
Right.
oh shit, you've never played a game like this.
Right.
This is a meta game about games where you're playing games in the game. You know, it was a very interesting concept for VR and it worked really well. Now that we're familiar with that, nothing is as surprising as it used to be. So there's
Right.
plenty of big, like you said, like surprising moments in here. But because that concept of like, I know this is gonna be like this already, it's still the same formula as the first one. So it's not as surprising. It doesn't hit as hard as
I think
was.
it. I think I still was surprised.
Oh
It just
my
didn't.
God,
It just
so
didn't
many
punch me. It just didn't like
tips.
go out of its way to punch me in the mouth and surprise me.
Dude,
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the second level of 89, you're on the school ground, the playground or whatever, right? And you've got
Yeah.
and suddenly the real world is being attacked by things, and you reach up and you grab your game kid or gear kid,
Yeah.
and you're shooting in first person shooter, like boom 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 shooting. And it's like there just was never that like sense of excitement in 95 for me. In fact, it felt like a
Star
lot of the
Fox
games.
part.
It felt like a
Star
lot.
Fox part
It felt
did
like a
that.
lot of the games were like, okay, so here's an action RPG, and I'm just gonna follow the path and follow the path and follow the path and follow the path and like shooting an occasional enemy. It never seemed super exciting. There was like so much just like downtime playing the game where like it was almost an excuse. They dragged it out so you could hear your family talking, so you could fit in all that dialogue. It was just a lot of like mindless, like not high action, exciting stuff going on. There were examples of that, but it seemed like there were far more examples of the other.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is the first one I don't think had like more engaging gameplay on a game to game basis. Like I don't think that the stuff you're looking for in this one was present in the first one really. So it's kind of a hard thing to really knock it for. But I agree with you. Like we were talking about the Streets of Rage thing, I wish there was some depth to that. Like
Yeah.
that it even had the same number of moves the original Streets of Rage had. That kind of stuff is a big oversight. And I feel like, you know, it's for instance when you're playing the Zelda game, put something in there that is like a Zelda action. You know, maybe let me open a treasure chest or let me do a spin move where
Yeah.
I cut all the grass and a heart
Right.
pops out. You know, like the stuff that's in the game, it feels like a lot of these are like facsimiles, just like a cheap photocopy that misses a lot of the detail that made the original so good.
Yeah.
Like these, there's a reason why we like Zelda after all these years because the gameplay was there, and in this one, you're just walking around in like a Zelda influenced world, just going poop 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 pew pew pew
Right.
pew, whatever. Like so it's a nostalgia trip, but on a game by game basis, they're not that engaging. Except for those moments like the road rage part or road rash, I'm sorry, road rash or fucking
Yeah.
Star Fox. Like occasionally they'll hit you and you do get that moment of surprise and that moment of joy where you're like, oh wow, this is cool. This is an idea I never thought of before, but it just works. Real quick, we have like so many.
Yeah,
tips.
let's
I'm
take
gonna
care of those. Thank
squeeze
you.
real quick.
All right.
Okay, so first one is Donatello the Scientist Game Cat. He sent us a very good viewer takeover
Ninja slice.
intro recently.
Can I say
And he
it?
says, yeah, you say it.
I'm Brian Paul, and I've come to take over. Pizza, pizza, pizza. If you guys didn't see Viewer Takeover this week, go check it out, man. Fucking
Yeah, it's pretty
Donatello's kid is hilarious.
Then we got 97 Skynet, the T800 Game Cat, $279 Canadian dollars, which is what, like 50 cents in America. He says, testing for Brian. Thank you,
you.
97 Skynet. And then we got Albert. This is YouTube dollars, $5. That's
Hell
for
yeah.
YouTube.
Thank you,
Uncle
Albert.
JC with another one. $2. Oh, I keep putting this in the wrong place.
Test.
Yes, this is where it goes now. And then the final one.
Thank you, Uncle
There
Jesse.
we go.
Come on, tree guy.
Took a few times. This is Johnny Wrap Up the Stray Cat, $4. Again, David's
Yeah.
new computer broke the YouTube. That is
Yes,
true.
it did.
Yeah.
Broke the YouTube.
It's too powerful for YouTube. YouTube can't keep up.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, this is a real gamer PC, guys.
So what I really hope to see in the last section of this game, I also think that it didn't go enough like referencing. Like they did an okay job, but it felt like I don't know. It felt like it wasn't like truly authentic and nostalgic enough.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see, I first of all, I hope that the next one is Pixel Rip 1999, and I would love to see them get more into these games. I would love to play a Crazy Taxi game or a Jet Set Radio game where you're just Dot playing Jet Set Radio, something like that, or driving people around for a small
Yes.
section.
Crazy Taxi,
Or
Jet Set Radio.
or
Yes,
or
please.
like a PlayStation reference where you get into a turn-based battle with a boss and like everything changes to like a menu system and you do like an active time battle. Or it's and that's basically, yeah, I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, we've been saying this in various ways so far, but I think really what they need to do for the next game is improve mechanically and go deeper into these games, because like we're talking about, the mechanics from one game to the next, whether it's the Zelda clone or the Castlevania clone or whatever, are exactly the same, literally exactly the same. You don't get new abilities or anything except for ones that last for like 2 seconds that you need to progress through an area. But it's, I don't know. Yeah, it is a little underwhelming in terms of how much is there in each game. And so I think that when they make the next one, I don't even care which games they pick. I just hope that they have at least the depth of the original game that they're,
Right.
And that's hard to do. Obviously, it's hard to make a Crazy Taxi, but you've already got the template. You know every feature that you need. Just put those in there.
Yeah.
It's easy. You don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything.
I know you said, Dave, it would be too easy to kind of go down the rabbit hole of like what games we think should have been included, but I think
silly games in any era.
But I think there were some iconic ones that they really missed the boat on. Like that would have been amazing. I think like 1995 was still the era of Doom on consoles, like the original Doom. And can you imagine
like a first person?
every time you're in that like SNES fantastical world in first person, right? And you see the sage, like the dude in front of you. It's just like they really, really, really could have made a first person pixel ripped version of Doom.
Opportunity, man.
Hugely missed.
Delirium Drew nailed something that I meant to mention as well. Thank you, Delirium Drew. And he says Metal Gear Dot, like a whole Metal Gear Solid section.
For
I really want it to
1999?
be, for like if they do like the 1999, like having Dot do these stealth sections against the Cyberlin Lord or whatever.
Dude.
I just really hope they do that.
What about what about Shenmue? Like they did a Shenmue section where you actually go into, you're playing Shenmue as Dot. You walk into a Japanese arcade and you play another game inside that game.
Yeah, they could totally do that.
That would be incredible.
That's like another level of Inception.
So I've been pretty hard on this game, but what I will say is I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10 for a couple different reasons. Number one, this game made me laugh. I really loved the humor and the joke.
Yeah, the dialogue.
Some really of the references. Number two, this game actually made me tear up a little bit, which I'm a little embarrassed to say, but it's true. So I got to say it. And number three, it had a Castlevania game in it.
It did.
And that was my favorite level. That was my favorite level.
It was like a 7.8, and then it was like those three things. I was like, nope, 8.0.
Yeah. Well, and the cool part about the Castlevania level too is before you get into it, you're kind of put into the world and you look up in VR at the pixelated, Castlevania tower through a fence and stuff. It's really cool. There's a lot of little moments like that, but overall, I think I agree with you guys. This is probably about an 8. I think, there's not the surprise of it being the first thing that's ever been like this. When we had 89, that was just totally unprecedented. Right. Nobody had played anything like it.
Right.
And so it's hard to put that lightning back in a bottle and repackage it for a sequel. Yeah. But I think they did a very good job of upping the ante in terms of the story and the characters.
What they improved.
What they did. There's still improvements to be made, which I guess is a good thing because we can look forward to the next one because hopefully there'll be some more depth to these games, maybe some more variety, as we were talking about.
I like what Meow the Gamer Cat Reno says. Goes, this makes AJ cry, but not Ghost Giant.
I get emotional over the
AJ
weirdest
cried
things,
during
man.
the stream. He just didn't tell you on the stream.
No,
He told
I
me
didn't. I didn't
he
cry.
acted like he wasn't crying. On the
I
stream.
definitely got a little choked up from Ghost Giant,
Yeah,
but I
you
didn't
fucking
cry. No, but like I'm
You
telling you,
should.
man, like I like the weirdest things get me like really emotional. It's not normal stuff. Like anything that would usually get somebody emotional, I'm like, meh. But then like I'll hear like a song from a video game, and I'm just like, it's beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. Video games are beautiful.
Yeah.
And I get like happy tearful. I don't know.
Have you guys noticed lately? I don't know if anyone else is feeling this, but with this whole quarantine thing, like I'm tearing up at shit that I didn't used to because I haven't interacted with humans in real life in like a long time. And so like any kind of emotion just like hits me really crazy. Like I'll be watching fucking commercials and I'm just like, why am I fucking crying right now? Fuck. It's weird, man. This whole fucking.
You should
stuff.
watch
Dude,
some
Roy
iCarly, man.
Schwartz, what is up, my dude?
Yeah,
to see
anyway,
you, man.
we got a
iCarly.
tip
That'll
here.
make you cry.
Real
This
quick.
dude.
Pop this guy in. Ooh, that's a $2 tip from Alto Keys, and he says, "How do you guys feel about Megaton Rainfall?" That's okay,
Good. Yeah.
pretty good.
I think
Not bad.
especially for the price point. What was that, like a $14 game or something like that?
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious for a small dev. too.
No, I don't
Okay.
like Megaton Rainfall. at all.
It's not that good.
It's a one man. It's a one man dev team, right?
Yeah,
We talk about
and he
how,
tried to make a space traveling Superman game or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, see, Joe Grover says cool made me cry. Yeah, Moss got me really emotional. Farpoint
Moss?
got me really emotional.
I think
Yeah, but not any of those other things.
Ghost Giant game is pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'm with Nick here. I kind of hate Megaton too. It was such a buzzkill.
you kind of hate it.
It's
Yeah.
not great, but
It's
did you hate it 'cause
got some
too
serious
high?
issues, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think- yeah, it's very cool. I don't like the move control support. They patched that in after launch,
Yeah.
and I just like didn't feel that at all. And I think if that was implemented better, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Yeah, it's okay though.
All right. Yeah.
JD Max says Starblood dying made me cry. I
That
totally
was
get it, man.
sad, yeah.
That-
So, do we have more we want to say about Pixel Rift, or do you guys want to move on?
I liked it overall,
Yeah.
but I would I think that's what we came to conclusion is like we liked it overall, right? But it could have still had some improvements for sure.
Yeah, and I
Like-
think if you've never played the series, the original got discounted, and this one is actually
Yes.
cheaper than the original was. So, if you want to give it a shot and see if you'll like it, maybe try the first one. It's cheap.
Yeah,
You'll still
$15,
have
yeah.
that. Yeah, you'll have that initial rush of like, wow, this is really cool, and just kind of experience it the same way everybody else did. Play the first one, then play the sequel. If you like it.
1989 is fantastic. So
It is
good.
yeah, very
So
good
much
game.
attitude.
So there's better and worse, I think, in this game, or some things that seem worse just because we expected something more, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
it's easy to say I wish it had this or I should have had this, but for what we got, it's good, and I think it's definitely
It's
worth
good,
a playthrough. So
I think an
Yeah.
8 is very accurate score.
you know.
I would
All
agree.
right. So guys, there are a lot of games on sale right now, and we want to go through them.
Oh boy,
And yeah, this is usually where Dave and I end up fighting, but
I
we're going to
can't
try not
wait.
to fight. What I want to make clear is that I want to have this segment to where it's like I want to be able to say that I don't recommend this game, and if you guys recommend the game, it's totally fine. Like, but I want to be able to say
Can we
that-
fight about it? I want to fight about
you
it.
can
I
fight
wanna
me.
get
Yeah, no,
mad
we can
and tell
we
you
can fight
you're
about
wrong.
it.
Say, you're
No.
fucking stupid. That game sucks.
No, we can totally if you want to like debate, but don't if you're going to debate something, don't just repeat it over and over, please.
Okay.
Because I heard you the first time, but
Have I
De-
been repeating myself?
definitely no hard feelings from last week. I see.
it
Oh, geez, sorry. man.
wasn't last week. It was like forever ago. But
I
All
don't
right,
pay
fuck off.
attention.
Let's go.
we got some tips though to do real quick.
All right, I'll do the tips.
Do the tips. Have some fun with the cats. I'll be right back.
All right, cool. That's Joe Grover, the effing game cat. $5 says Dave. Same thing is happening to me. Out of nowhere, I need to hug my wife and we cry together. We are happy as hell. Something about the quarantine. Yeah, I don't know. It's got me feeling
Dude,
all weird.
I'll tell you what I'm doing in this quarantine, right? Like, so I've gained it. I mean, I've already gained a ton of weight over the last couple of years.
Fat as hell.
Yeah,
totally.
And I can't blame the quarantine because it's just ever since I've focused on the YouTube channel more and more and more, I focus on myself and my health way less.
Well, you also used to be on your feet and you were moving around all day. Like when you were a server, like you weren't sitting in front of a fucking computer all day,
right?
Which is pretty bad for your health.
So I can't blame the quarantine 100%, but I am absolutely saying that I'm starting to turn things around. Right, I'm trying to try to make a daily routine where like I'm not, where I do, okay, it's time to like exercise, time to lift some weights, time to get my heart racing for a little while. So there's that. But what I've also found myself doing is setting up dates for when the quarantine is over.
You're already planning to date people after?
Oh, I mean,
you're just getting it all lined up,
dude. You go on some dating apps, man, and you have a conversation with somebody like, when do you want to get together? And like, October? Okay, cool. I'll schedule in for October. Yeah.
I mean, that's actually not a bad idea, and it kind of takes the stress out of it because the whole thing is like people are kind of nervous about meeting in real life.
Right.
Now people can just talk on the app forever, and they don't even have to fucking meet you in October if they don't want to.
Right. No, absolutely. People will absolutely lose interest in me long before October. They'll be like, sure. You don't have a personality outside of video games. I'm like, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. One more. That's Whitticus, I believe. Let me scroll up and make sure it's Whitticus. Yeah, it's Whitticus. $2 again. And he says, we should get a game night going. Honor and Duty, Firewall. Any of those sound fun. Yeah, go over to the Discord, guys. And if you want to, we got a multiplayer meetup thread there. And all kinds of cool stuff. We also have a separate thread for Saints and Sinners and for Final Assault, which a bunch of people are playing online together these days. So, come hang out.
Oh, Dave, you want to get some multiplayer gaming happening tonight? What are you down to play?
I suppose we can. I'll play something. Yeah. Brian, you've been complaining that you didn't get included on any of the Saints and Sinners.
I like to pretend that I'm upset that people don't include me, and then when people actually invite me, I go, "I'm sorry,
I'm busy." No, I'm super very.
I don't want to. It's really. I watched about 30 episodes of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee yesterday while cleaning my apartment, and I was like, "This is. I just want it. Is there any way to get paid to just do this all the time?"
First, you have to be Jerry Seinfeld, but after that, yes, there is.
Dude,
you just do that.
So, and here's, as much as I like Seinfeld and I thought the show was brilliant, I don't put it in my, oh my God, this is a show you need to watch list. But I do put Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee on that list because it's so great. When you see two comedians hanging out and all they're really trying to do, like secretively, is like make each other laugh. It is the greatest time. And like they invite you to be part of that. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. One of my favorite jokes about that, though, is so there's this guy who's, I think, the head editor for Hard Drive, that website that's like The Onion, but for like gaming articles. I don't know if you've seen that. He does stand-up, too, and he did a stand-up set as Jerry Seinfeld, just talking about his like 17-year-old girlfriends. Because apparently Jerry Seinfeld loves to date like very young girls.
Oh, he's been married for like ever, and he has 3 kids.
To like an 18-year-old, she's
good for her,
or was super young. But anyways,
good for him
one
too.
One of the jokes was that he's got a new show coming out called "Comedians in Cars Teaching Their Girlfriend to Get Ready for the Driving Test," which I thought was fucking perfect.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah,
Corks is watching while kayaking. I talked to the Whitewater downstream Whitewater guys, and they don't have any plans currently anymore or something. They ran into some issues. So
welcome to the world of PSVR development.
I hope we get that Covert game that's on a kayak. That game looks cool. It's also got a Solid Snake in it. David Hayter is one of the voices.
Yeah. Is that published by Oculus? Is that why we're not getting that one? Because it's an Endreams game, right?
Well, here's the thing. There's other stuff published by Oculus, such as Vader Immortal, that we are getting. So I would not be surprised.
I don't think Vader Immortal was published by Oculus.
It was funded in some way by Oculus.
I'll take funded.
Maybe it was published by ILM. Might have been published by ILM, but I think Oculus is pretty heavily involved in it.
All right. Time to get to sales.
All right. Yep. So first up, we've got Groundhog Day for $9.74.
What?
It's a great value. It's just
value.
It's a boring game.
Yeah, I didn't like the game that much.
Oh man,
I love the works. Like
if you want like maybe just story driven, maybe if you want something that's purely story driven, right? Then I could see it.
Yeah. I mean, I really for $10, I feel like it's hard to argue with this one because
here's the thing: is Invisible Hours also on sale? Because if
No.
you want a story-driven game by these people,
that
it's
is
really good. Invisible Hours is way better than this game.
I think
Yes,
Invisible
I
Hours is a
agree.
much better game than this, but having only one of each genre might be a little limiting. This is I don't like the form of movement in this game. They only let you teleport to certain areas. I feel like the controls and even the presentation is a little bit messy. But I also feel like when the game really heats up and when you finally kind of get near the end, the story, you finally have connections to these characters, and I teared up. If you watched the
really?
original Groundhog Day, it does
I
make
love that
some
movie.
awesome references to the original. It takes a little while to get there, but I think ultimately it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't think I gave it the while that it needed to get there because I just couldn't get into the gameplay loop. Like
It was
I did
really
not
hard.
like.
Oh, did you
I did
finish
not
it?
like that. No, I didn't finish it. It's
No.
just too tedious for me.
It's worth it
and
eventually.
the thing was that there are some things that you need to do to progress that are not obvious and not really telegraphed or hinted at in any way. And unless you do that thing, you have to play the whole damn day over again, every single time. And it's just sort of like
That's
You can
I
skip
didn't
through
find
sections
the
though.
thing I need. Well, you can once you figure out how to, but it's really just like it's like learning to speed run a game as a game,
Yeah,
essentially, because you just learn what you need to do to progress
which
by
is
failing a bunch of times and retrying, failing, retrying, and then you get the flow down and you say, okay, I got to do this on this part of the day, got to do this on this part of the day, and that's how you get through it.
which is
To me,
sort
it
of the
wasn't
movie,
very.
the original movie.
It is, of course, it is, but it's just not engaging as a gameplay loop for me. I didn't like it.
it was
Very
too
much.
boring for me. Let's do this like America's Got Talent or something. It's a no for me.
It's a yes for me. For $10, it's a yes.
So no.
It's a no for me.
All right,
It's not
next.
bad. I dare not say it's a bad experience.
Dare
or bad
not you
story
say.
or anything. Dare not I say, sir. But it's still a no because I just yeah.
Yeah, just for all the
next-
reasons you already said.
What do we got next?
Yes.
What do we got?
Next is Never Out for $2.39.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't even know if I
market
have a trailer for this. I'm fuck it.
Super cheap, but I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not like a great game. It seems like a $2 game to me.
I feel it should have launched at $2. That's the issue.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a mobile port too, right? It was like a phone game.
Because of some of the other games on this list, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to play this. There's no good reason
No, you don't
that
have to play it.
this game.
Right.
So here's what they could have done to make this game better. This uses like blink turning and so basically you're inside of a cube. It's like Cube the movie, except all puzzles. And actually, I finally have a trailer here. It's ready to go. And so, but unfortunately, you every time you turn, every time you change your gravity, every time you turn, like kind of like fuck your. I don't even know how to say this. your point of view changes. It blinks, and it really ruins. If the whole world just turned and allowed you to do that, it would have been great. It would have kind of given you like, whoa, that just did something to my stomach, and that's an amazing feeling sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because the game, if you guys don't know, it's like a puzzle game based around flipping the room you're in, essentially. Like, so to get to a certain area, you have to turn the whole room this way, right?
Right.
If you could do it, what Bryan was saying, where you grab it and you like spin the world, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
This, as it is, you could buy it for $2.50, but you don't really need to.
Yeah, I did not enjoy playing this game. I just thought it was kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
So I say it's a no for me.
Yeah, I think
This next one is going to be interesting. Aspire 1 VR Operative is going for $17.99 right now.
too much money. Not worth it.
Still too much?
Oh god, that game's not even fun. And it was real busted when it came out, but it's not as busted, but it's still just not that fun. Everybody was excited. We're getting Metal Gear Solid in VR. We're climbing walls. We're doing all kinds of
I get
stuff.
mad. Is it bad that I get like red with rage whenever somebody says MGS and this in the same sentence?
Yeah.
Because that's what I thought it was going to be.
Like,
but when you get the damn thing, it's just not good.
Right. For anyone still making that comparison, like you dropped the ball, like you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They do have this update with the challenges coming, and they said that they're going to fix the lighting, but they still said that they are down the line going to fix the audio. And the audio, to me, is the number one thing that's wrong with it.
It's going to make the game fun.
No,
Like,
Yeah, Dave's right. It's just not fun. And even if they fix the audio, which I think would be a great improvement to the actual game, I still don't think
Yeah.
they nailed the fun factor. It's great climbing
Yeah.
walls, and then it's like, okay, this isn't really fun at all. And I think until everything is fixed, until the game is the game we thought it was going to be, I think. I mean, it should be a $15 game, and hopefully it gets to that point eventually where it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen
Yeah.
though.
yeah.
It's a no for me.
The VR grid, it's a no for me. The VR grid says boring. If the VR grid says it's boring, then
Yeah.
it's
That guy
it's
probably
mega
looks-
boring.
Is that the box quote you got for it? Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so
What's
so
next?
it's a no from all of us.
We have some
Arizona
tips.
Sunshine for
Should we do the
well,
tips?
let's do
Yeah,
this
let's
tip
do
real
tips,
quick.
sure.
We have two tips. There's an older one from Hugh Guyver, cousin of Mac Guyver. Tell your cousin Mac we said hi. And also get the fuck out of here. We got 3 pizza slices and 3 bags of cash. Thank you, Hugh Guyver. And-
Hugh Guyver, shout out to your cousin Mac.
Thank you for
Yeah.
the pizza slices.
Don't ever
Follow
forget to
that.
shout out Mac.
That's for Whitticus, the Game Cat again. Thank you, sir. $2. And he says, are there any hopes for Minecraft VR? It exists on many platforms, but I believe Microsoft owns Mojang, which is the company that makes
Yeah.
it. So we'll see. I don't know. They have no plans for VR themselves, except for on PCs, obviously running Windows can do VR shit. But
I don't think they'll allow it. I think they would. I think if Microsoft ever has a VR platform, I think they'd save it for their own
Yeah.
thing.
Agreed.
well, the other thing too is that this game can run on an Oculus Go. Like there is an Oculus Go version of Minecraft. If it could, I mean, it can run on PS4. That's not even
Oh,
an issue.
Absolutely.
It's not a matter of getting it ported over, getting it working right and stuff. It's a matter of if they want to or not.
Right.
If it's worth it financially for them.
Yeah.
So
I would say that Xbox has some VR plans that they're not disclosing yet. I think that they're working with all these other VR headset developers, and Microsoft has funded some of these things, and so I think it's at some point Xbox One Series X, one of those headsets is going to be compatible with it, and then
for sure.
for them
Yeah,
to sell
and
it,
I
they're going to be like Minecraft VR, hands down.
Well,
fucking sell a
one
million
thing-
units.
One thing too that I imagine will be the case for Windows when they hit VR is that you won't just have one option for a headset. You could pick any range of headsets. Like so Windows Mixed Reality is a platform that you have right now that they release headsets for, but there's like a lower end one, a higher end one, and you just plug them in with the USB and stuff and it works. I have to imagine if Xbox does support this, they're going to allow you to use a variety of headsets because they've already got that ecosystem going where they're working with people to do these kind of like mixed reality stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Dreams, man. I'm hoping Dreams delivers.
Mhm.
Come on, Dreams.
Yeah.
That has nothing to
Big
do
money,
with
big money, big money.
Is that in any way related to what I was just talking about?
Well, Dreams is similar to Minecraft, like in like a building
okay.
thing,
Well, that's-
kind of.
okay.
I was trying
Yes.
to. Maybe that's an odd dot to connect. I'm sorry. About that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just thought we were talking about Xbox. Anyways, yeah.
Real quick, Great Tantrum says, will this channel cover Xbox VR if they were a thing? I'll tell you right now,
No.
we don't cover Quest, we don't cover PC VR, we don't cover anything else. It's called PlayStation VR without Parole, PSVR without Parole for a reason, because as I said earlier in this episode, I 100% that Sony has the better VR plans and moving forward than any other VR manufacturer. I think they're on the right path. I think everyone else is a little bit lost, to be honest with you. No matter how well the Quest is doing, no matter how well everything else is doing, they're all a little lost. Keep iterating. You're gonna fucking segment your audience really fucking fast. And I think Sony knows what's up, and they're not doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Just as an appendix, though, if you guys want to ask a question about a game that you know we've played on Quest or something, like that's fine.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you the answer to whatever question. But
Banned.
That's
We're not gonna
that's
start
what Gamescast is about,
making
man. We're a
videos
little loosey
about
goosey around
Quest
here.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
so Arizona Sunshine for $11.99.
Yes, finally, that's the price point it should be. And
Should've been
yes,
$11.99
You
again.
better have Saints and Sinners first. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, for sure. Buy Santa
better
Centers
have-
first, and then
Yep.
save a few bucks for Arizona Sunshine.
anytime the Arizona
it's not a bad
Sunshine.
game for $12 at all. Like I would have given it a much different review at that price point.
Yeah, anytime Arizona Sunshine comes up, it's so much better than it was at launch. The horde mode, the one horde map we had at launch was awful. It was practically broken. Now some of the horde maps are very cool, 4-player stuff. The single player campaign with the aim, with the moves, you can play either way. You can play co-op. Like there's a fun game here. And the last time I played it, I had a lot of fun with it. It is not a $40 game. $12 is the perfect price point for it. If you're
Not
interested,
bad.
then yes, I say thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'd say yes on this if you don't have it, and if you have Saints and Sinners already.
And it's also really fun to play with friends. Like if you've got another friend who doesn't have it yet either, you guys could go through the campaign.
When it works,
And,
yeah.
$12 each, go through a full campaign, shoot some zombies. Not bad. Then you can play the horde mode and stuff too.
Not my first recommendation from the sale, but yeah.
I like what Nick Mulo says. Play Arizona Sunshine first, so it's not terribly disappointing
True,
after Saints
true.
and Sinners.
Yeah, you might want to play Arizona Sunshine first.
But it's a totally different kind of game, though. It's like
It is.
This
It's more like an arcade, fast-paced shooter.
This is such a mindless zombie shooting gallery, right? So you just move forward, and with a friend, it's kind of fun. It's just goofy, it's silly, it's dumb, and it doesn't have a lot of, Saints and Sinners is a survival game. Like even though they both have zombies, the gameplay is radically different. So this is just kind of like the dumb little brother, I guess.
Ross Christopher says both DLCs are 50% off right now. So I guess
Aren't the DLCs like $2?
like $5, $10, right?
I thought one of them was like.
I thought they were both $5. That's
one,
not bad.
One was
Not bad,
$2.49. I think that was the Dead Man DLC, and
Dead
I think
Man
the
DLC.
Damned was $5. So yeah, absolutely,
Gotcha.
even better.
All right, next up, we've got one I haven't seen on sale for a minute now. Actually, no, it does, and that is Shooty Fruity VR for $10.99. Usually $20.
First game by Endreams that I actually
Yes.
thought did not suck, because Perfect was from Endreams, and that game was trash.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Bloody Zombies was good, right? Did they just develop that or publish it?
I like Bloody Zombies that much, honestly. It's
Well,
okay.
that's on the list, so we'll get there.
Oh, okay, there, okay.
This is a good, fun game. I think it's a fun game. It's got a kind of an offbeat sense of humor a little bit, but it's not poorly done. I actually chuckled a few times,
Yeah.
And it's just a solid game. It's got this core concept of you're manning a grocery counter, but then the fruit is coming to life and trying to attack you for whatever reason. So in terms of like what you're scanning, you've got your cereal boxes and all that shit, but then you've got machine guns you can pull off the rack and start shooting the fruit. So it's satisfying. Kids can play it. It's not really bloody exactly. It's like
Juicy.
juice.
Yeah,
Juicy.
yeah.
So
This came out when we were all kind of sick of wave shooters, but it did a great job of adding to the formula where you're always multitasking. You're either packing groceries, you're sorting things, and the only way to get these guns coming down the conveyor belt is by doing that other thing better. Yeah. And it's just like Dave said, it has a great sense of humor. We had a conversation on Discord just recently about we were trying to rank the top 10 PSVR wave shooters, and I think if this isn't number one, then it might be number two. Maybe number three. I don't know.
I do like how they have the voice that sounds like Janine from Ghostbusters. She's like, "Go to your next floor," or whatever. I can't do it, but Ghostbusters, what do you want?
So it's a yes for all three of us then.
Yes.
Nice. Shooty
Yes,
Pretty's
on
awesome.
Shooty Pretty.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Good, great game.
What was the price again? I'm sorry, I missed the price.
$10.99.
Oh yeah, go buy it.
Whitticus commented, since he tipped so many times already, I think we can give a freebie here. He says, what's up with Discovery on PlayStation VR? Discovery is like the game that looks like Minecraft, but it's not.
Yeah.
They promised, I think, again, another one-person developer team. I think it was something Wanda. I forget the developer's name. But
Wanda.
Was it?
Wanda.
I just said a fish called Wanda.
That's not it, but it was close. Yeah. And it looks like Minecraft. It kind of feels like Minecraft in building stuff in that world. It's only the creative mode, and it doesn't have all the stuff that you'd hope for in a creative mode. But what's there is fine if you get it for like $5, whatever. They kept promising updates and updates and updates and updates for years now, and it sounds like the updates are still coming. But the one thing that everybody wanted, the survival mode, to make it as much like Minecraft as possible. Apparently, in this, I don't know if this is a legit excuse or not, but that would change the ESRB rating, and you're not allowed to change your ESRB rating once you've gotten your game on the store.
So that's the reason why they can't do it. Yeah.
So, I just feel like you could easily change your survival mode to be an everybody rating. I would say that there's got to be a way around that.
Well, I think there's two everybody ratings. There's everybody, and then there's like everybody 10
plus
right?
or
something.
Yeah.
And it would make it 10 plus, not just everybody. And I don't know if that's a matter of like the concept of you might die is too much for an E game.
Or having to
Like
shoot
I don't
anything
really
or
know.
attack anything.
Survival. If you die as a character in a survival mode, that's
So-
like.
So the downside is that's the thing that we were all looking forward to the most. That would have made it the most fun. And then they were like, by the way, you've all bought this game, and now we're not giving you that. So I wouldn't do it. New Wanda? Yes, New Wanda. 2 O's, right? N-U-N-O-O?
Wanda. It's like a Rwanda, but the new version.
Okay, New Wanda. It's like Newtopia. There's like one TurboGrafx fan out there that knows what I'm talking about.
I think it's where Black Panther's cousin is from.
Okay.
New Wanda.
Okay, what's the next game on the list, AJ?
All right, Tom, I saw your comment. I'll get you at the end, bud, about the camera tracking stuff. Next game is Gun Club VR for $12.49. This is, of course, by the Binary Mill, and I like this game, man. This is basically you shoot. It's all about like just shooting at like a firing range, but there's targets that like move at you and stuff. There's actually like zombie targets. There's like World War II targets, and they're very they have like these cool themes about them and a lot of different guns to choose from. The audio design in this game is superb. All the guns sound amazing.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I mean, we have had a few shooting gallery games, like Lethal VR and stuff like that. They were okay. But this is the first one that I was like, wow, this is just a really good game. I really like this game. And there's a lot of cool features to it. Like AJ said, there's a lot of different guns, but the attachments and stuff that you unlock to customize the guns, they have this really cool system where you can manually like decide where they sit on the gun. Like if you have a little sight or something, you can like slide it up and down and put it exactly where you want it and all this stuff. So there's a lot of customization you can do with the guns. If you're a gun nut, that would be fun because I think it's realistic and it's based on like how these things actually attach. But like AJ said, there's a lot of fun modes. Like there's one where you go through different points and it's almost like Time Crisis or something because like you start in one spot, guys pop out, they're shooting at you, you shoot them, you kill them, you move on. So the game modes are what really I think sells it, on top of the kind of really well done gun designs, and it just feels fun to play. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
It is fun.
Totally worth it.
I got nothing to add to this conversation. I think it's definitely worth it for that price. And it's for if you are a gun person, you're gonna love the attention to detail here.
Yeah, and I'm not a gun person at all. I've never owned a gun. I don't want to own a gun, but I still liked it. It was cool. So you don't have to be a gun person.
So it's a yes from all of us.
It's a yes from me, Brian.
3 thumbs up.
And chat.
3 thumbs up.
If you find yourself having tracking issues with games, if you're like one of those people that have like that have like really good tracking all the time, then yeah, you're not gonna have any issues. There's some of the guns can get a little like janky trying to reload and stuff.
Well, the two-handed guns. I mean, no.
The two-handed.
Two-handed guns because so.
Well, if you have the right setup, you can get around it. It's just hard to. It's just not usually how you have your setup.
Wait,
like,
didn't this game give us an alternate way to play the game so you can actually play standing sideways? And so
I think
was
there
that
was
a later
yeah.
edition? I didn't notice that.
When they gave us the sandbox mode, I think it came with that alternate tracking option, so you can actually play the game standing sideways, so it's able to track both of your controllers all the time.
I didn't know that. I also didn't know they put the sandbox mode in there either.
Sandbox is included, and that is like a huge selling point for a lot of people. So
yeah, that's cool.
It's even better now than it was before.
That for a while.
Yep.
One more Right Pop, real quick. I'm going to squeeze.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
John and Right Pop, Stray Cat. $279 Canadian dollars. Says Dave's new PC broke the YouTube. Is that an old one?
It did.
I think that came in from like
a long time
20
ago.
minutes ago or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, well, still a good tip.
Thank you very much, Johnny.
Yeah, not all the two-handed guns gave me a problem. Just the ones that had like the bolt action stuff kind of gave me some troubles. Yeah. Shotguns I think were fine. Just the like the bolt action sniper rifle stuff and like manually loading the ammo. All right, so next one is another
36 minutes ago he said he sent it.
Nice. Next one is another Binary Mill. I actually recommend this over the previous one, and it is Rush VR for $11.24. Yes.
It's the wingsuit game, guys.
Wingsuits.
Like flying squirrels. No, it's very fun. Very fun. I agree that it's better than Gun Club.
Yeah. It's my favorite game from the Binary Mill. Absolutely. Is Rush VR. It has
Sirens.
It is like wingsuit racing. Anybody that likes SSX, like it is the closest feeling to like SSX, snowboarding, extreme sports, stuff like that you can find.
Yeah.
It also, I think, has some of the best multiplayer on PSVR. However, you know, you have to kind of play with us to have multiplayer. Luckily, you cats probably do.
Yeah, there's not a huge community out there, but we put together game nights pretty often to play Rush. And
if this game had its own like sustained multiplayer base around it, this would absolutely be a top 25 game for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like what you're saying about the extreme sports aspect of it, because there is a lot of that threading the needle where it's like you feel like a daredevil, because in this game to get boost, you have to fly as close to the ground or like the wall as you can. You're just like skimming across the surface like this. So it's basically you're always threading the needle on this like razor thin margin of error, which makes every single second of it really fun. Because you're trying to get, see people in front of you. You're like, I need this boost, so I got to do something dangerous. And then it might work, it might not work.
Or you might smash into the mountain.
Yeah, and this has a similar thing to like Dirt Rally, where if you fuck up once, that's the end of the race. You are done. You wait for everybody at the finish line. Yeah, which is still cool though, because both before and after, there's stuff to play around with if you're using the move controllers.
Right.
So they have little Nerf guns or like beach balls or stuff like that. You can just like throw at people. The cans of soda are really fun to like spray other people in the face with and stuff.
Interactive objects.
You can see it dripping off your mask if somebody sprays soda on your face. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Also, the weather effects show up as well. Like if you're in a rainy stage, your mask will get rainy.
I love that,
and that's really really cool.
Yeah.
And Brian,
the environments are great too. It's a lot of fun.
And Binary Mill updated this game fairly recently. It was only a couple months ago, right, when we got the Molten Tropics update, where it was like a whole new map and a whole ton of courses. And and I think that's my favorite one. It's the best looking one.
It's
I think
really cool.
Yeah, the most fun to go through. And that update also added a free flight mode where there's a ton of collectibles. You can just go back and play every single course again, looking for all these collectibles around the environments. Some are super difficult to get. AJ did it like in 5 minutes, but the rest of us took hours and hours.
Took longer than that, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I did get you do get some rewards too. You unlock wingsuits when you get all the silver medals and the gold medals and stuff. And yeah, I've got this cool Molten Tropics like wingsuit now. It's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so
love this game. This is a strong yes for me. Strong yes for Rush VR. Like, give me a hell yeah. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Do I have to? Girls be dancing.
Girls be dancing.
Don't make me say stupid shit.
Rush. This is the number one recommendation so far for me that we've gone through.
Is Deadland on this list? No, it's not. Then I guess this is mine too. Yeah.
Next one, this will be interesting. Next one is Doctor Who for $11.49. I'm gonna let you guys.
Not as good a deal as some of the other ones, but it's not a bad game. I just think that's not as deep a sale as it could get at some point. This game might be $8 in the future.
Yeah, I mean, what was this? 25 normally?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, this is obviously a much better price for it. I kept saying, I bet Doctor Who fans are really going to enjoy this even more than I did, because I enjoyed it. I thought it had some cool spooky moments. I thought it had some very cool, interesting ideas. It's a very simple game. Like the puzzles are super scaled back. It's just like, take that thing and put it here. It's pretty easy. As it turns out, like Doctor Who fans didn't seem to like it more than I did. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I heard from like Madman, and like, I mean, Des was here for the Why We Love episode, and Des was like, yeah, it's fine, but it's like it's a specific doctor. It's Jodie Forrester. Is that her name? I don't know.
You got to know things about Doctor Who to know that.
I don't know stuff.
I don't know things about Doctor
Who. Right. But you know what? For $12, I'm gonna say yes.
Who the captain of the Voyager was, or
Janeway.
something like that.
Janeway.
Yeah,
first name? I don't know.
Captain
is her first name.
I think she's Catherine Janeway, I want to say.
That sounds right. I think you're right.
Catherine Captain.
The chat obviously knows. I'm going to say yes for $12, just because I think, there's some slow points in this, and like the whole laser section, arranging mirrors to do the laser puzzle sucked. But I think for $12, this is a pretty cool, very simple escape room style game.
She is Catherine Janeway. That is true.
I don't want to offend anybody. I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
You're gonna say no on this one. Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna say
I'm
no.
on the fence on this one. Really, I would say, like I said, I think it's a $7 or $8 game.
Yeah.
Really, if you're gonna wait for a sale.
I couldn't even finish this game, and apparently I'm like really dumb because Brian was
really
like,
short.
That was
He's like, these puzzles are for babies, and AJ's like, I couldn't finish it.
But AJ, you're like our puzzle game expert, man. Like you're the guy who likes puzzle games.
I usually try to like just fight through it and stuff, and I just couldn't. I just gave up, and I was like, I'm just not enjoying this. I can't say it's bad or anything. All right, this one will be interesting. This is obviously Brian's going to say no on this one, but
No.
Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition is
Terrible game.
$19.99. This game sucks. This game
It's the
sucks
worst
so
fucking
bad.
game I've ever
This
played.
is like one of the worst games on PSVR.
Too scary.
It's too scary. I can't play it.
I'm too scared.
I'm a little baby.
So the Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition is the whole bundle together is $19.99. There's also, if you already have the game, the DLC packs. Band Footage Volume 1 is $5.99. Band Footage Volume 2 is $8.99. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, the
dude.
entire thing for $20 is probably the best deal you could get on PlayStation VR for anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't played this, first of all, get your head out of your ass. What's wrong with you? Second of all, this is all the DLC, which has its own included VR parts that, for some of which are like hours-long experiences, like End of Zoe, and then
Dude, the
Not a
survival
Hero.
mode alone would have been on the top 25 list for me.
Yeah, no, they're so cool. Yeah. And for $20, like, I mean, if Gun Club's $12.49 and this is $20, that's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
This is Dave's right. This is the best deal on PlayStation VR right now, on the PlayStation Store right now. If you haven't played this, you're out of your mind. This $20 for the DLC alone would have been worth it, but the fact is I've played through the campaign 4 or 5 times now. I still have one more trip to make to get the Platinum Trophy. As much as I love Saints and Sinners, this is still my favorite PlayStation VR game. There's just so much to it, especially when you count all the DLC. $20, absolute steal. Go buy it.
Yeah, I think we were kind of joking around a little bit here, saying that Walking Dead is immediately going to take its spot. I don't think it's going to be.
Oh, I'm 100% serious.
I think it's going to be a debate, AJ. It's going to be a
debate. I think it's always a debate.
Anything that pushes Astrobot to number 3 makes me smile.
No.
Saints is definitely my number 1 PSVR game.
It's really goddamn good.
Well, we'll see what happens when Gorn comes out on Tuesday.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. Gorn might.
Go here. We got one more. J Meow. This is a really long one. Okay,
batteries.
Does it cut out? Does it cut out for you guys?
Yeah, it's totally cutting out.
Okay.
Oh, am I cutting out?
No. Tree guy cuts out every time.
Every single tip has been like the tree guy cuts out.
Right. You get the beginning and end of tree guy, and that's it.
Volume.
You haven't.
I'm hitting a peak threshold. It's
yeah.
Like too loud.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, you guys know what tree guy sounds like. So, Jamie, have $2. What's the square root of a hypotenuse? No one knows anymore. We're all too old. And I don't even know if that's a legitimate question or not.
That hypotenuse doesn't. You know what? Let's keep moving.
See, I don't even know.
There's no hypotenuse doesn't have value without some anyway.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to get into a fight on that next.
How much time do we have?
Like months away.
So,
we got a long time.
April,
we got
May,
a long time
June,
for the
July.
next top 25 list.
Well, I mean, it's going to be at the end of July, so luckily Iron Man will be out by then. Budget cuts will be out by then, so we'll have a lot of contenders.
Yeah,
for the next top 25 list.
And I will have that Saints and Sinners Platinum.
Oh, I hope I have it by then too. That'd be nice.
Okay, let's see. So next game, I don't know what happened to Dave, but next game is Bloody Zombies for $5.99. Corix the Game Cat. Is this game still broken? Is that last level still broken? I would have almost recommended this game, but apparently the last level is broken.
I actually talked to End Dreams recently, and was like, "Hey, are you aware that this is an issue?" And I don't remember what the response was. But it was there's like a workaround for that issue where I guess you can play it in non VR, I think, and then get to that point. I don't fucking know. But yeah, even if the last level is broken in VR, I'm gonna say for $6, this was fun, and this was an interesting take on the brawler genre in VR because you kind of like look down like and see the whole level left and right, and it's 4-player online co-op. It's a tough sell when something's broken, but
Yeah.
I have no interest in this game on a flat screen. I'll say that, no interest.
So are you giving it a yes?
I'm giving it a yes, except like I just don't think if there's a bug, it's just I don't think they're gonna fix it at this point, which is really sad. I beat the game. I don't remember there being a bug. I don't know. What to say.
I wish it was less than the $5.99.
You wish it was less
Like,
than
I
$6.
99. I mean,
I wish it was less
what
than
that
$5.99.
says to me is that it's not that great a game. Like I know people
It's
seem
okay.
to like
It's okay. Like I played a lot of Double Dragon growing up. I played a lot of these side-scrolling beat 'em ups.
There's upgrade skills in
And-
this, isn't there?
Is there an upgrade? It's been a while. I haven't played this since
been a while.
I haven't played this since
okay.
2008 with like Rhodey and Dr. Doom.
I played this in the
2008,
last
12
I played
years
this-
ago.
2018. Sorry,
Am I
2018.
cutting out? Can you guys hear me? Am I not audible or something?
Yeah, what's
I
up,
can hear
man?
you.
What's
What's
up?
up?
Okay. I played recently, within the last 2 months.
Oh.
And having played that and also the new Streets of Rage within the same period of time, I think that this game's not a very good beat 'em up. It's a beat 'em up that is in VR. It's just an okay beat 'em up. It's the online multiplayer is cool, but the fact that Streets of Rage 4 exists, if you love this style of game, just play Streets of Rage, man. Like it doesn't need to be in VR. It doesn't really add that much for it to be in VR. For me, like it's still just a beat 'em up. And so if that's a genre you love, there's much better entries available. This is just sort of like a by the numbers, like
Dave, I've been meaning
Yeah.
to ask you, does Streets of Rage 4 have either online or local co-op?
it has both. It has
Nice.
local co-op for up to 4, online is 2, which is fine because with more than 2 people, it kind of gets crowded, especially with friendly fire damage on. You're like just punching each other the whole time. So it's
Bryan,
cool with 2 players.
It just came back to me. There are like special moves you can unlock, and there's like
thought
2 different
so.
ways. You can either do like an input combo to do like a special move, or you can like hold R1.
Yes,
There's like
yes.
shortcuts for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I love progression
Um,
systems. So, and I think that's what kept me going on this one. So it's I'm giving it a yes, but it's not a strong yes. Like it's all right. If it was more than $6, I probably wouldn't recommend it at this point.
Yeah, and for me, that's why it's a yeah.
So
'Cause
it's
if
kind
you-
of a middle of the road, or
Yeah, I'm a medium.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
still gonna
hate
say
it.
no.
I don't
I don't
hate
think it's a horrible game or anything, but I'm still gonna say no.
Yeah.
All right, Star Trek Bridge Crew for $9.99. This should be like a no-brainer.
Super fun. And there's still people playing because it's got cross-play with PC, and there's always randos on there. I mean, not like a huge amount, but people in our community still like to play it as well. So you can definitely get a game going, and it's really fun with some friends
yeah.
to hop in, especially if you've got those sort of like I love Star Trek. I've watched all the seasons except for what's that one with Scott Bakula? Fucking
Enterprise.
Enterprise. That was I couldn't get past the intro. That was the worst intro I've ever seen.
Oh
But,
yeah, somebody shouldn't sing the introduction to Star Trek.
no, to Star Trek is fucking weird. It just turned me off. I couldn't even see if the show was good or not. But if you like Star Trek, it's very cool to be on board. The Enterprise, and they have also the throwback ship from the original series, I believe, as well. It's like a DLC update, and it's kind of a nerdy dream. You get to be the captain or be the engineer and like work with people and say, starboard, fire phasers, torpedo lock, that kind of shit. It's very cool.
Heads up, the Next Generation bundle that comes with Bridge Crew and the Next Generation DLC, $12. So that's the one you should be getting
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Skip the $10 one, get the whole thing
for just $2 more.
$2 more.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, this
so
one's
yes.
this one's a yes for me.
Strong yes.
All right. So next is Jay Meow's favorite game of all time. Perfect.
Oh God.
Yes.
$4.99. We were just talking about this recently. They were just giving this game away recently on Twitter.
Which I think is the right price for it.
Free.
Yeah, free.
Yeah, again, I'd be like $2.
There's nothing here. There's nothing here. It's like
So, if you don't know what Perfect is, it's supposed to be a relaxation app but there's also supposed to be little things you can do in it for fun, like throw a snowball or light a fire at a campfire. But really, it's just super low resolution, like scenes where you stand in one spot and you're like, I guess it's supposed to be a snowy forest, but it kind of looks like shit. And then you can teleport somewhere else and you're like, still a real shitty looking forest around here.
Right.
And it's just all you can do is stand and throw the snowballs. That's the extent of what's possible in the game.
Yeah.
And so if you want a place to relax, like play Eagle Flight or something, man, soar over the city, have a fun time. You know, like there's much better ways to relax than this, whatever the fuck it is. It's
Sit
not
in
a
a
game.
tavern in Skyrim. Sit by the water in Skyrim.
Do something.
Yeah,
But
you can't walk around. There's nothing to
play
do.
3 seconds of Sing, and you'll be way more relaxed than you will be with this fucking thing.
I totally agree. And the recommendations this game gives you, as far as like how to enjoy it, it's like turn on Spotify, and I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me to enjoy some music in your game? I have to use something else to
An
listen
external
to
program,
music.
yeah. Couldn't I just be listening to Spotify, man?
Yeah.
Like,
Let me just close my eyes and imagine a more immersive world than you're giving me, and listen to Spotify. Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely thumbs down, big time.
that's a hard
Sorry,
no,
Jay.
hard no. Yeah.
Love you, Jay.
I love you, Jay.
Don't be mad.
You need to work
Does
on
he
your...
like that game?
At this point, I don't. It's like Will and Squishies.
Is it a joke? Is
Is
it?
it a joke
Yeah.
or
I think he really
Will
likes
does
it.
really like squishies.
I know.
So
Which is why we don't trust
Oh,
Will.
Jamie, yeah, $2 donation. He
he's
says,
serious.
Yeah, he says,
He's
"Don't
very-
you dare give this a no." Well, we dare to.
Too
dream.
late.
We dare. Thanks for
dare
the
to-
money.
It's a YouTube delay.
That's a no.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
All right.
We love you, even if you have bad taste in games.
We got
All
next.
right. So next we have Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes for $8.99.
Sorry, I got to go back real quick because we got a good comment about Perfect. Grarox, which is not a name I've seen before, actually. Welcome, Grarox. If
Welcome.
you're new. They said it's hard to relax when you're pissed off that you bought it. Very true. Very true.
Keep talking. Nobody explodes.
$8.99.
Thumbs
Yeah.
up.
If you want
If
to
you have
local
friends to
co-op,
play with,
yeah.
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 If you want a local co-op game, then yeah. But
Also good for people who aren't used to gaming exactly. So like it's not, you don't have to know how to play a game to participate in this. Anybody who's involved out of the VR headset has like a manual of instructions, and they're like talking you through what, you know, you're referring
Right.
them to what you see.
Yeah.
So it's a cool like asymmetrical co-op game, but it's not very gamey. So like if you're in the headset, you can just say, oh, I see a blue wire. You don't have to be like running and jumping and doing like technical stuff. So your mom could play it, your sister could play it, whatever, your nephew, anybody. It's very accessible.
The idea
fun.
is that the people who are helping you defuse the bomb can't see the bomb, so it's all about communication. And they've actually had bomb defusal experts play this game, and because
is
they're
really funny
so
on
good at
YouTube.
communicating,
watch that.
yeah, it's like they actually killed it. They nailed this thing. And so the other thing is that the person who's not in VR is using the social screen to kind of flip through a bunch of pages that have instructions about if there's 2 blue wires and make sure you cut the green wire, that kind of stuff. That again, the person in VR can't see. I'd actually recommend, if you decide to buy this game, go on. I think on their website you can print out all this stuff and just
Yeah.
have it in document form, like actual pieces of paper, and like put that in a 3-ring binder. And it's way faster to kind of flip through those pages than it is to use the DualShock 4 and navigate the social screen.
It also makes it more fun too, because I think part of it is that you feel like, you know, you've got a bomb squad on the other side of the line and they're telling you stuff and you're like, what does the manual say? What does the manual say? And you're flipping through and like as quickly as you can, getting them the info you need. So yeah, that physical aspect of having like a binder is really cool. Yeah.
And how much?
thumbs
Is
up
this? $9?
$10?
Yeah. No, this is
$8.99.
yeah. It's usually 25, I think. So absolutely,
Oh yeah, definitely for that price.
great deal.
It's a yes for me. Hey, we missed 2 tips.
Yeah, we did.
Ooh, well,
Joe,
didn't I give,
thank you, Joe.
Didn't I give the one for Joe where he said,
It's the one
oh,
oh.
I don't see any ones after the one from Jamie
No, it's
now.
before those. It's two.
Oh,
it's
got
two
it.
before.
Too earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, good, gotcha. Okay.
So strange.
ET2K9.now, $9 says,
know.
for the hardest working PSVR hosts in the biz.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
I like the random number. $9 is great. Thank you very much.
$9. Yeah, no one's ever given us exactly $9.
I work really hard. They just kind of freeload. They just kind of write off my success.
$2 from Joe Grover, the effing Game Cat. Once again, thank you, Joe. He says, I'd rather Dave freeze if it means Tree Guy works. Did he work that time? Did he go through? I might need to adjust the...
I think he did actually work that time, but pretty much every other time it's been Tree Guy gets cut off.
For sure. Thanks for the heads up on the tips we missed. We could get too deep into PSVR sales conversation. We'll do our best to keep on top of this. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you.
All right, next we've got the Assembly for $11.99.
I've never played this game.
What?
Yep.
I think the Assembly is amazing. The fact that it's not on our top 25 list is an absolute crime.
This one's hard because everybody. No, we've talked about it on sale before, and
no, but on the top 25, you've never brought this up, Bryan.
No, I know, and like, there's plenty of games that I think belong in the top 25 that I don't even put on my list.
Well, shit, I guess I have to play the Assembly now. Yeah. I didn't know.
This is a great kind of. It reminds me of like old school graphic adventure games, almost like point and click games, but there's so much exploration and trying to figure out what's going on. You play from this institute, right? And you play as two different characters, one who's like brand new to it, who's just got a job and like first experiencing things for the first time, and then somebody else who's been there for a long time and like who knows a lot more about the inside workings of this place. And like, so you're playing these two storylines kind of in tandem and until they kind of like cross paths, and it's just brilliantly done. It's a beautiful looking game, and don't play it with moves. They added the move support later, and you can only teleport with the moves. And so it's great to be able to reach out and open drawers, but everything else about it sucks. Use the DualShock 4 for full locomotion. Little be concerned about if you have any kind of sensitivity to motion sickness. This one can twist your stomach up a little bit because they didn't nail the frame rate, unfortunately. But everything else about it is awesome. And for this price, it's great. It's usually a $30 game. That was my Assembly rant. I'm caffeinated.
Okay, well, this might be the first game that I've bought on sale from us telling people to buy games on sale, because I usually have all the games we're talking about. But I haven't. I thought this one was bad. I heard just bad things about it.
I remember you saying that before, and I remember most of the chat.
Poor. It's like a 5 out of 10 everywhere, 50%.
That's why
I know we had
everybody else.
We had this conversation before, and I remember the chat disagreeing with you, Dave, about this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I never played it, so that's.
I never finished it, so I don't know. So anybody that picks this up, you are solely relying on Bryan here, which sounds like it's a yes, right?
Absolutely. It's like for $30, I'm like, okay, I get you why you'd be hesitant, but for $12, it's great. I think it's really well done. Right.
So if you guys don't like it, it's Bryan's fault, and let us know.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like you guys, they're gonna hate it just to piss me off. Like they're gonna go out of their way to hate it just so they can like.
Not everybody hates stuff. Nobody's gonna hate stuff.
Do you know how many times we finish a GAMESCAST and I go lay down in bed and go, why does everybody hate me?
What is up, Alvo's in the chat? What is going on, guys?
What's up, Steve?
We talked about you guys earlier.
Did we?
And you missed it.
Did we talk about it?
Briefly.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We got a tip. We got a tip from somebody, and they were asking about Alvo.
Oh,
Good luck, guys, with your we know your guys are submitting certification soon for QA, something like that. Good luck, guys. We're rooting for you. We want this game. We're really excited for it.
Yeah, totally. What was the tip? No,
that was the tip earlier.
Got it. All caught up. All right, what are the games? Is that it for the sale?
Nope. I got 3 more. We got Trackmania Turbo for $9.99.
So this is the opposite of that last one, where I think Bryan and I like it, and you don't, AJ. Right? You said this was kind of lame and you didn't have any fun with it. Bryan and I both had a good time, I think, playing.
This is a tricky one. First of all, this was a free plus game.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
So you missed your opportunity possibly there. Secondly, I'm so torn on this game because I hate that there's like things that I absolutely hate about it. I bought this game day one. If you compare it to other Trackmania games, like it's not very good compared to those. But
Well, it's like a mode in the game. It's not a full Trackmania game, but the mode that's there is pretty
no,
good.
the flat screen is not good either. Like I didn't like it flat screen either.
Wait,
I played this.
Trackmania Turbo. Then I think you're just like in the minority here because that's not a poorly reviewed game. People like Trackmania Turbo in general on flat screen, I think.
I don't like Trackmania Turbo on flat screen. But that's just me. But
Yeah.
I will say, but for $10, I think that the VR stuff that's included in this is pretty cool with an asterisk.
Real quick, it's got an 81 on Metacritic, the flat game. So you are definitely in the minority in thinking that it's not very good.
I'm okay with that. I've been in the minority on a lot of things, and
I'm totally fine with that. I think this game gets boring. I think this game gets boring really fast. I think it's really cool at first. I love this. I really like it at first. And I think within 20 minutes or so, it gets really boring. And then I'm done with it and don't want to play anymore.
How so? Like, how did it get boring? Because I was having a lot of trouble getting through some of the courses. They're pretty challenging. Like, I'd have to retry stuff a bunch of times to be able to make it through.
There's a couple.
Okay, whatever.
Are we just talking about the? Are we talking about the flat screen side?
Are you going to
of things,
start
or are we
this
just
again?
talking about the
I
PlayStation
don't
VR
have
side?
any expectations here, Dave. I just didn't like it.
That's fine.
I got bored with it really fast. I got bored with it.
That's a you problem, is what I'm saying. That's not a game problem, because the game is not bad. It's not the full game, but it does have Trackmania courses.
It's actually pretty close to the. It's pretty close.
There's
to
a
the
lot
game.
of courses, but
I don't like that the tracks are like 10 seconds long, and you just have to basically do one thing. Like it's not.
I don't like Trackmania, is what you're saying. It's not the VR, because that is Trackmania. That's what the game is.
Yeah, and I said I didn't.
Like
I said I didn't
hard.
like this game before VR. Like So
that's fair. So people keep that in mind. If you like this kind of game, you're probably going to enjoy the VR version of it.
By the way, it's third person. It's not first person.
It switches. That's not true. It switches between first person and third person.
Well, it switches in certain
automatically, which is
it switches automatically.
A huge asterisk for me, where I'm like, you know what? Like, allow me to switch back and forth. Don't force me to go into first and third person when you want me to.
I think that was a performance thing, probably, or maybe just that they thought it would be too intense for people to be in first person the whole time,
right?
Because this isn't like a new port. I mean, this is a couple of years ago, back when everyone was still worried about people getting sick, and it's a pretty high speed game, so I see why they did it. You know, at that point in time, devs did shit like that.
Yeah, I see why they've done a lot of things, but it doesn't mean I'd say it's any good.
And I mean, I'm not a huge, people seem to think that third person is not VR somehow.
Yeah,
no,
like
I got
some people think
a lot
that.
of people are of the mindset that, like, oh well, that's not a real VR game because it's not first person.
Some people
I
do
think
think
the
that.
third person parts are still fun. It's still breakneck fast. You're going through these wild courses. They're pretty tricky. And maybe it's just like a 15-second run, but it's like there's some trick to it that you got to get just right, and you try it 5 times before you beat it. I don't know. I think
this game is fun at first. Like I said, I think it's fun at first, and but for me personally, it just after a little bit, I got really tired of it. Like I just got bored with it. Like I think it's like immediately satisfying, which is usually Dave's like bread and butter. But I think as I played it more and more and more, I think it got worse and worse and worse.
It's pretty it's pretty visceral. I do think that the sense of speed is great, and when you fly around the corner or something, it feels pretty good in VR. Again, if it was more than $10, I'd say no. But for $10, there's enough VR stuff here. I don't care about the flat screen. Don't give a fuck about it because I want that sense of speed in first person VR. Not even first person, third or first person. Whenever it switches you back and forth. Yeah, I think for $10, but no more than that.
The cool thing about this too is that I think the physical game has been fairly cheap for a while. Like when this first got a VR patch, I just bought the physical at GameStop because it was cheaper than the online. So it's definitely been pretty low priced as a physical game because it's not new, it's not super popular, and it wasn't even that expensive to begin with. So I think you could probably, if you're like a collector, get it on disc for like $10-15 somewhere.
You want to hit that tree guy for us, Dave?
I hope he comes through. Is it better when I do it from further away?
Yeah, I've heard more of it, I think. That's Donatello, the Scientist Game Cat, with the $9.99 donation. Thank you so much. He says, this is for the money I've saved watching this section, one of my favorites. Gotta bounce. Great show as always. See you on the Discord side, Game Cats.
Right. Later.
Hell yeah, Donatello. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for the donations. We appreciate you. All right. You said we had a couple more to go, huh?
2 more. We've got Carnival
Carnival Games.
Oh, it's just the add-on, the Carnival Alley Adventure add-on thing for $3.99.
I mean, if you have Carnival Games,
If
you're
you already
interested in
have
it,
the game,
it's cool. Like it adds a whole new section.
the climbing
There's,
wall, the best part about it.
Well, the climbing wall's in the base game. It's not in the DLC. You don't need the
Oh,
DLC
is it?
for the
I thought it was the DLC.
No, it's in the base game. But there is what is there? There's like mini golf. There's a few other ones in the.
Ooh, that mini golf is bad though.
I know you didn't like it, but I thought it was okay. Yeah, there's. I mean, if you like Carnival Games, that's kind of a no-brainer. Just more stuff in Carnival Games. So.
I'm actually not the biggest fan of this. I kind of like Pierhead more. But I can see why both have their pluses and minuses.
Their own pluses and minuses. Yeah, I mean that, and also what's that other game?
Summer Funland.
Summer Funland. They've all got pluses and minuses.
Yeah,
none of them perfect.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy much of the DLC in Carnival Games VR. Unfortunately, I think if you have the base game, then it's probably good enough. It just felt like a cheap add-on to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you got kids who like playing shit like that, just put them a few more games in front of them can't be a bad thing. I think that's kind of who's going to get the most enjoyment out of it.
Probably. And we got one more?
Yep. It's going to be Kona for $2.99 and the VR add-on for $1.19.
Unbelievable deal. There is only one problem with the PlayStation VR version of Kona, and that is blurry as hell. And that, unfortunately,
it is very blurry.
Unfortunately, that means the map you have and the notebook you have are practically useless, which means you're just going to do a lot of wandering when the game is actually in non-VR, kind of giving you instructions on kind of where to go. Other than that, I think this is awesome. I think this is a great game, especially for that price.
Yeah, it does a pretty good job of that. It doesn't look great, but you get the feeling of you're in like a wintry, kind of isolated, desolate landscape. And like you can drive a car around, which is pretty cool. Like in the game, when you get to drive the car, it runs well. And there's this interesting mystery bubbling under the surface that gets, I wouldn't say like it's like a horror game, but there's definitely some mysterious stuff that is otherworldly happening here in this little snowy town.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out what's going on.
It feels like it starts off Twin Peaksy and then it kind of like dives a little bit into X-Filesy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So it's a cool little thing to check out if you like adventure games. It's not action packed, it's not fast paced or anything, but it's a cool area to explore and put together the pieces in your head and figure it all out.
Right.
What'd you say it was like $3 or something total with the VR add-on, like $3 or $4?
It's $1. Yeah, it's with the add-on.
The add-on's what, $3?
Yeah,
$3
right over $4. Right over $4.
Yeah, no, this is
definitely
great.
Get that if you're interested in the concept. I mean, there are people who buy this and be like, even for $3, I don't like it, which is fine. You exist, that's cool. But if it sounds interesting to you, I think pick it up. Yeah.
But keep in mind that if you don't like this, then you're in the wrong because you expected something wrong from this.
Don't exist. Or what? I don't know what I was saying. Let's move on.
Yeah.
This one's hard. I love the narrative in this game. I liked a lot of things about it, but I actually didn't finish it. I did get kind of tired of it at some point.
Well, because the game doesn't give you enough direction in the VR version because you can't read the map and you can't read your journal.
Oh, right.
And But you play the non-VR version, and you're like, oh, it's telling me where shit is. And in the VR version, you're like, everything's too blurry to even know. Yeah. So this game desperately needs a pro patch, or you just kind of need to drop into the non-VR version every so often if you get lost.
Okay,
it's unfortunate, but for that price tag, I'm like, it's worth spending a few hours with it and seeing if you like it.
Yeah, I think so.
So that is it, guys.
Yes, for me.
AJ's putting it as a middle.
Like, can I do like a I don't know?
You shouldn't be allowed to because it's only $4, but whatever.
Well, again, I don't care if it's $2. I don't want to recommend something to somebody that they won't either enjoy or play. That's the smartest decision I ever made. Hold on. The smartest decision I ever made was that no matter how many people said, oh, this is a great game, if I wasn't going to play it or if I wasn't going to enjoy it, guess what? I didn't buy it. And that was a smart decision. And that's all I'm trying to get in this situation is just because something, I don't know, whatever. I zoned out for a minute.
That's okay. I zoned out while you were zoning out, so
we weren't listening.
It's totally fair.
That's it.
100%.
But yeah, that's it, man. That's everything.
That's it. We've done it.
Yes.
Another
We did
GAMESCAST complete.
We talked about all the news. We talked about all the sales. We talked about all
So
the
much
new
stuff.
games. We answered all the tips. We talked to people in the chat. What else could we have done? Let's advertise the Discord again. That's a good idea.
The link's in the description. It advertises itself.
Go hang out. Well, we should still advertise.
I agree. Was that the extent of your advertising?
Yeah, let's see. We got a Discord. It's in the description. Go come hang out.
Nice.
That's where we continue the party 24/7. Where they are all. What do you say, Brian? You got a whole.
We continue the conversation. That's where this conversation happens 24/7. People are there all the time because people are there from all over the world. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. We're all drinking coffee. We're all super caffeinated. We all should have gone to bed hours ago. Bring your own pizza though. We don't share. That's my sales pitch.
That's the shtick.
I share pizza. That's why people like me.
That's why? Because you give out free pizza?
Yeah. I'd like somebody if they gave me free pizza
Mailing
too.
Pizza to people, or what are you doing?
Yep.
You ordering pizza for them? You never bought me.
Priority mail.
All right, you guys. I think that was a pretty decent GAMESCAST. Thank you very much to everyone who hung out. Dude, I hope everything goes. I hope this gets uploaded as one cohesive stream. We had some in the middle of our Pixel Rip conversation. Everything kind of shit the bed. I mean, I couldn't. YouTube wasn't even working. It was just a broken web page for me the entire time we were streaming that section. And so if this actually continued to stream and continued to upload the entire time, I'm going to be shocked. So fingers crossed that that's the case. Remember, guys, as Dave already said, join us over on Discord. It is a free thing, just a free big old AOL chat room. That's all that really is. If you've never used Discord before, don't worry. Neither had I. I don't know about you guys. I definitely never used it before starting a Discord. But do that. Consider
one thing we never mentioned before, but is a thing. You can actually kind of donate on Discord by sending server upgrades. Do you guys know about this?
Mm-mm.
If you do the Nitro boost or whatever, we could get more emojis. We could have like animated emojis and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to help us get a cool thing on the Discord, you can actually put money in and it'll get it better.
That's right.
But we're not there yet.
Tramp Yuki already sent me the invites. What's going down, Ukes?
Oh shit, we're getting GameCats popping off in the PSN right now.
All right, well, we're going to figure out what game we're playing multiplayer over on the Discord, so make sure you join us over there to find out what game that's going to be. Guys, thank you very much to all the cats that are in the chat. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who, really, guys, everybody who's out there who didn't even say a word, just sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed the show, silently watching from the shadows. We love you too. Anyway, thank you, AJ. Thank you, Dave. My name's Brian. This was PSVR GAMESCAST, and we're out.
Indeed. And guys, I don't know how we got through the entire session without you mentioning Patreon once, but Brian lives off of Patreon money. So if you guys are not patrons yet, I know money's tight these days, but you can give even just a buck will help him out materially. So it's patreon.com/without parole.
Games.
I've never gotten to prompt you guys for it. I see why you like doing that so much. But yeah, if you want to help Brian out, that is his main source of income. So, if you like what you see here, definitely toss him a buck or two. I give him $5 a month, and I don't even need to. So.
Yeah, we need to stop that. You guys need to stop giving me money every month.
Yeah, I appreciate what you do.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I think a lot of people do. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. And now, AJ, you can shout everyone's name.
Cue the cat.
No, we do. The cat's like halfway there.
Oh shit! Mark Pringles Leaf, the Triangulator, Kramer 3K, Secrets of Duran Fan VR, Har Orseek the Game Cat. I am Orseek, Delirium Drew, Joe Grover, Ross Christofari.
Okay.
It's like a
Uncle JC, that straight Game Cat, Joe Grover, Corix a Game Cat, Tiffany Tolman, thank you so much. Even though Diet Pepsi. Guys, had fist bump to you. Great tantrum. 97 Skynet, the T800 Game Cat. Meow. Okay, Diet Pepsi's okay, guys. I'm just kidding. War and Gore, the Goriest Game Cat Metal. JD Meowks, the Sim Racing Cat. What's up, dude? Thanks for joining. Sonic the Game Cat. Gotta go fast. David, Decepticon. Oh, yes. Give me the Game Cat. Congrats again, my dude. So happy for you. Hard to get. Ash VR. And did I say the Triangulator? I'll say it again. Well, Craig McPherson says hi, so I'll say hi. And Glorax.
And now we say bye.
Oh, before we say bye, real quick, I forgot to say one thing about Pixel Rift. You guys are still out there listening. So you mentioned
Wow.
Davids. We got a couple Davids in here. I'm a David. You guys know this.
Yeah.
The weirdest part of this game for me is the fact that your name is David and everyone is calling you David the whole time. It's so weird. If you're a David, this game will give you strange, like scary feelings of immersion because everyone is speaking to you by name the entire time. That's all I gotta say. It's weird as hell. But
I can see I can see the closed captioning on the thing right now, and it's saying like dice when it rains, and it said like pet something pet. I don't know.
it's trying to subtitle people's YouTube names.
Yeah, and it's just it's like ribs. So you mentioned a couple Davids in here. I'm a David, so you guys know this. Yeah, okay, it's actually getting that part right.
If you guys keep going, I'm just gonna start the show over again.
Yeah, we can do.
This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film every Thursday.
We put 60 seconds up on the clock, up on the counter, the way that Jeremy likes it. It's our time. No. That's it. We love you guys. Meow meow.